Good morning, good morning. Morning. Got my camera off because I'm smoking on camera again. And apparently YouTube don't like it much. So, I do cover it. You know what I mean? So, but been up since fucking early again, 4 o'clock. Watched a couple of lives. And I thought, fuck it, I'll go out, film the sunrise. And then as the sun comes up, make a video picking a few mushrooms while I'm time-lapsing the sunrise. Got up the fucking mountain and the cloud is covering the mountain, so you couldn't see more than fucking 20 feet. And it was blowing about 40-mile-an-hour wind, so that was the end of that fucking idea this morning. So I thought I'd schedule a live instead. And I'll have to get out this evening, and if it's fine, I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I haven't had a look. That's right, that is Jay. Morning, Tim. How's it going? Yeah, so I had a failed attempt this morning at doing some filming. I wasn't planning on doing a live at all today. Morning, Diane. Morning, Emily. Morning, Akash. Morning, Sky, if you're still there, Mishi. Morning, Fairy Fizz. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I've done a couple of little afternoon lives when I've been out with the dogs lately. And like I said, I went out this morning to make a video rather than do a live, and that was failed because of the weather. I stepped out the house and you couldn't tell that the mountain was fucking covered in clouds. So by the time I got up there, it was a big no-no. There's no way I was, even though my GoPro is weatherproof or waterproof, I didn't want to put my GoPro out for a time lapse up there and not get any footage. I could go out the back and see if the clouds, or out the front, sorry, and see if the clouds lifted, but I don't think it has yet. Morning, Bagman. Just an unscheduled live, no agendas or nothing. I've just been doing some unscheduled lives, doing a bit of mushrooming and whatnot, Oh, why is that doing that? Piss off. There we are. I had something weird come up on my screen then, so I had to get rid of that. Morning, Tyrone. How's it going, fella? Yeah, last few days I've done a few dog walkie type foraging things, and people seem to enjoy the mountain. So I'll do a few more of them. I will get back to doing the occasional late live as well. But I've got to stop getting up at fucking 3:30 in the morning and going to sleep at fucking 9. That's what I've got to do. I may just shut my camera and mic off, and I've got some music queued up just in case my missus nurse turns up. Her blood nurse is supposed to be here this morning, so I might just have to shut the camera off while she comes through. Big up, Tim, for dropping the links. All the links will be starred. And in fact, I'm not sure I'm sub to you, Tyrone, so I am now. And Bagman. Sub to Bagman. I've been up half the fucking day already. Yeah, I'm waiting for a few parcels to be delivered today, but I shall be back out this afternoon some point. I might make a video this afternoon rather than do a live, put my GoPro on and get some fucking use out of it, you know. Maybe this afternoon, Stephen. Depends how knackered the dogs are. My old girl was absolutely knackered after yesterday and the day before, so yeah, it is tight. I know some of the footage isn't the best because the signal's sort of up and down, so the camera's a bit woo, a little bit way. But when I stay static, or if I record videos on my phone or GoPro, the footage is fucking amazing. I am starting to bring videos over from my other channel, rather than asking people to sub to my other channel. I'll bring a selection of videos over from the other one. Clip them up a bit, modernize them a little bit because they've been up for a while. Big up the camel toe, or should I do that? No, I don't indulge Tyrone at all. Don't indulge at all. It's just an old habit this time of year. I like to pick a few. I also, know where some field mushrooms and button mushrooms and that grow. I think I said on a live stream yesterday, there's a local guy who knows all the best fungus spots, and this time of year and the spring, he's out every morning at fucking first light to go mushroom picking. So by the time you go around, I could go around at 8-9 o'clock, and you can tell someone's already been around. There'll be a couple of mushrooms kicked over to see what they are. Morning, out there. Morning, live follower. Morning, Kathy. A giveaway. I should do if I get to. Not that I chase subs, but I should do a set a goal. I don't know what I'm on at the minute. 593. I should set a goal of 600, shouldn't I? I know I've got subs only mode on in the chat, but it just keeps the chat a little bit more friendly and cleaner. Yeah, Paul, see, it is. Definitely. But yeah, I don't know whether I'll do a little live this afternoon, or I might even do one, not a live, I might do a time lapse this evening, weather permitting. I might do a sunset time lapse and, set the camera up behind me somewhere, and I'll go around in front of the camera having a little mooch around with my GoPro on. So I'm not sure yet. I was still a bit pissed off about this morning. Like I said, it was fucking. I looked out this morning, took the dogs out this morning. I thought, oh, fucking great, it's clear. Oh, got up the mountain, shrouded in fucking cloud, low cloud. Yeah, I think so, Snowy. The ones I was finding yesterday afternoon hadn't long come out, some of them, because they were really brown. You can tell they were fresh as a daisy. Let's catch up with the chat a bit. Everyone's sharing their love. Good mornings to everybody. Morning, Snowy. We have a winner. Yeah. Yep. I know exactly where that is. Tyrone, I was up there this time last year working with a mate fitting a boiler, and we stopped up on Bedlinog Mountain up above Derry. And there was people everywhere. There was people everywhere. It was fucking absolutely plastered. So I might take a drive over there this afternoon with the dogs even, over to Bedlinog. It's not far from me. Won't take me long to get there, and it will show peeps a different part of the beacons, or different. I think it's I'm not sure if it's within the park boundary, like where I am. Morning, Robert Lee. Yeah, just a chill one this morning. I'm not going to copyright claim my thingy with music again. We got a guest. Hi, Tim.
Hiya, mate. All right?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Good. Thought I'd just pop on for 5.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I was went out early this morning. A bit disappointed with the weather's fucking terrible up here, up on the mountain. Anyway.
Yeah, it's bad here. I think we're going to have a load of rain this afternoon.
Yeah, it was. I got up there. The cloud was down. It was about. Well, I took a little 15-second video. I'm going to put it up as a short later, and you can see that I'm just surrounded by cloud. Like
Tidy. Yeah. So, you going mushroom picking today or what?
I might do this afternoon. Yeah, I'll take the dogs up the mountain anyway. But yeah, I might do.
Yeah.
But yeah, yesterday. What's that, Tim?
Sorry? Go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like yesterday, I walked around for an hour and a half and I only found a few, and then 10 minutes by the car and I had half a little bag full.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to have so many trips off them.
Yeah, me. Yeah, the last couple I had sort of early 90s-ish, mid-90s. The last couple of times I did them, I didn't have good trips, so I've never done them. I've never done them since. Like,
yeah, I've had fruit machines and everything chasing me off them.
yeah, it's bonkers. But I've seen a few people out. But like I was just answering Tyrone's comment about Bedlinog. Last year there was people and the accents. You know, there was people from Bristol, fucking London, Essex, sleeping up there in their cars because there was that many mushrooms. They were sleeping up there in their cars and filling cardboard boxes with the fucking things.
That's the way to go, isn't it?
Yeah,
right then, I'm gonna jump off, mate, because I think my battery's gonna go.
Yeah, no worries, Tim.
All right, nice one, mate. All right, cheers, mate. Ta-ra, buddy.
No worries. Morning, Norris. Morning, speaking the truth. Yeah, I think I might, maybe not this afternoon, but I'm going to have to do it before we get too much frost. I'll go up to a different part of the beacons and show people. I might have to leave my old dog at home, like, because like I said, she was fucking, knackered after her walks yesterday. So Spit is back. Didn't watch it all. I watched about half hour at the beginning. I was bouncing around and to be honest, I had an evening off the tube after about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock last night. Big up the ice chain. Really nice. I'm not copyright claiming myself with Public Enemy this morning. Mos Def. Although I was tempted. But I can't keep doing streams with copyright claims on. It gets on my tits. Even though I've just started leaving them up, I'm not going to take them down unless YouTube tell me to. Morning, Shady. Yeah, I think it is palsy. I've mentioned it before. A friend of mine was microdosing for anxiety. I don't know if he still is, but he sorted his anxiety out. A couple of months of microdosing on specialist mushrooms from someone on Insta. I had someone from Insta comment yesterday trying to sell shrooms and stuff, I smoke. I struggle to vape. I've tried vaping. I've bought THC vapes. I've bought normal vapes, and they make me cough bad. For some reason. Yeah, everyone's sharing the love around this morning. The link's out if anyone wants to jump on. It's just a free and open, no subject this morning. Like I said, I had a failed fucking attempt at filming this morning, so I just thought I'd chuck a live up. I was watching Nutter this morning, and when I came back in the house, well, I was watching Nutter when I sat up the mountain. I sat up the mountain and had a smoke for 10 or 15 minutes just to see if the cloud would start to lift, but it didn't. So I was watching Nutter, and no one else was really live. And apparently prescriptions are hard to get, but I wouldn't know. I haven't even looked into fucking medical side of things, to be honest. No, I haven't heard of toad venom. No, it might be on. I followed one of the guys that commented on my post video the other day. He's selling all the shroomers and that, but he's a microdosing specialist. But he's probably got it on his fucking site somewhere. I just haven't had a good look because, I'm not really interested in shrooms. Morning, Jamie. Yeah, it's bad here in South Wales. It is where I am, not by the house, And yeah, I only drove up sort of 400, 500 feet in elevation, fucking completely covered in fucking cloud. Yeah, I always watch my morning Nutter. I was watching Anne-Marie before Nutter this morning. Matrix was on and a couple of others. Kathy was on. So I watched a bit of Anne-Marie, then Nutter. And I was watching up the mountain, to be honest, Nutter as well, in the car having a smoke. No, I haven't seen that, Snowy. Nice one, Tim. We got a guest. Hey, we got a guest. Just even though I know who it is. I got you, Shady. I know it's you anyway. I know it's you anyway. I'm just practicing putting my banner up. That's all.
Why'd you make me slap my head?
Nah, no, that's what I have to do to get on panels.
Jesus, I've done something to me fucking wrist. I can't put any. Can't put any fucking weight on it. Don't know what I've done. Jesus.
Probably
Yeah,
slept on it.
But you know, on the vape, I made the
Yeah.
mistake. When I got this vape, I didn't know what it was. But you see the big orifice?
Yeah.
That means it's directly to the lungs. If you try use this like a joint or a cigarette and you go mouth to lungs,
Yeah.
you're choking all the time. And the rule is if it's narrow, use it like a real cigarette. If it's wide like that, you take it directly to your lungs and you stop coughing.
Yeah, I did. I had a go on my missus one the other day. We went to fucking went to bingo the other day, and you were allowed to use them in the one corner. And that's what, instead of puffing it like a cigarette, I was just straight inhaling it back, but only little puffs, and I was fine. I wasn't too bad at all.
Yeah, the problem with this is how long you hold the trigger for.
Yeah.
If you do it too long and there's no like timer on it, doesn't cut off, you know, you can squeeze that trigger for 20 seconds and it will still bubble away.
Yeah.
But you take that down and you're fucking killing yourself.
Yeah. Morning, Bobby. Yeah, I did buy myself one last week, I think, to smoke when I was on lives or whatever, and it was a flavoured one and it didn't taste like I expected, so I'll give it to the daughter, but I'm definitely going to have to get one for when I'm, on live streams, because I do smoke more.
Yeah, it's stressful, isn't it?
You know, I've got a doody in my hand a minute, but, you know, when this is gone, I'll have a rollie, and then 5 minutes later, I'll be looking for my fucking papers again for another rollie, you know. And I'm not like that unless I'm sort of live, you know. Yeah, I'm one of them that doesn't roll to go out in the car. I might roll one to light up as I get in, but
I used to have ashtrays full of half smoked roll-ups. I was forever rolling it up. Right now, I'm forever vaping this, but it used to be roll-ups all the fucking time. So,
yeah, my missus is forever leaving half roll-ups in the ashtray, and then she won't relight them, man.
Oh, I do, because it's fucking cost.
Yeah, I would as well. I do. If I go past an ashtray and there's half a rollie in it, that's mine.
I've been desperate where I've ripped the rollers up and got the tobacco out to make tobacco until the shop opens. I don't miss that anymore.
Morning, Smithers. No, I used to do that when I was like, before I was working and all, obviously back in the early 90s and whatever. And YTS schemes, and Dole didn't pay enough to live on, really. So, you know, everything had to be recycled.
Then again, them days I used to smoke less, so a 50 gram would last me a week. Now a real 50 gram would last me 2 days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I do 2, sometimes maybe 3 30 grams a week, but usually just 2 a week. But I don't smoke them all the way down. It gets down to about fucking like 5 or 8 grams of backy, and it's gone a bit crispy for my liking. So I just fucking roll it up, and give it to one of the kids because they don't mind dry tobacco.
Yeah, but you know what you do back in the day? You get the tin. You know, you'll have a tobacco tin. Just put a little bit of potato. Put a little bit of potato in your tobacco.
Yeah, used to do that. Yeah,
and it keeps it moist.
Yeah, yeah. We used to use a slice of apple as well.
Yeah. There's potatoes. Well, in my hood, we use potatoes.
Yeah, I've done it all. Potatoes, apple.
I used to know somebody who used to. We was in a shared house, and he'd buy 50 gram of Golden Virginia in the tin when you had them. Remember the tins?
Yeah.
And he'd take the lid off and put it under the grill to dry it out because he found it too moist, which I thought was weird. But then when you bought a brand new one, the first roll up was, you could never, it was worth drying it out, I think.
Yeah.
They used to do it.
Yeah, I was always a cigarette person until a couple of years ago. And my missus has been mostly backy, but I've never really been able to get on with Golden Virginia or original old, but only the occasional rollie. I smoke mild now as it is. I have a smoke Holbein Yellow, which is a mild one. But at the moment, because it's cheaper, I'm on Marlboro Gold Fine Cut, and it's like a moist cigarette tobacco.
Yeah, I've had that one before when I could afford to buy retail. Yeah. I go for the imported stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's half the price, or it's a tenner off.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at Golden Virginia, it goes to Europe, comes back to this country, and it's still cheaper than retail.
Yeah. I used to buy I'd go to Amsterdam regularly before lockdowns and whatnot, and I'd always fucking bring tobacco back for my missus and cigarettes back for myself, and I'd fill my I'd take my cabin bag with enough clothes, and stuff just for a couple of days, so I had plenty of room for baccy. I used to fill it with tobacco. I'd put like 2 kilos of baccy in and like fucking 800 fags, let that go through the fucking scanning, and then buy my allotted fucking load in the airport as well. Yeah. And then when I was going, I was paying fucking $8.80 for amber leaf, 50 grams.
Yeah.
And cigarettes were costing me fucking £4.80 a packet for Lucky Strikes. I was fucking smoking organic Lucky Strikes. And it's just ridiculous. We get ripped right off with everything.
Yeah, it's tax on top of tax. So you got your tobacco tax, then you got VAT on top of that tax.
Yeah. Paul said, yes, I can grow tomato plants, yeah.
Well, if you can grow that, you can grow skunkweed. That's what you get a lot around here, skunkweed.
Yeah. I like it. Even after, because I always used to use the same tobacconist in Amsterdam. They've got a website, and you can look at it, called the Dutch Tobacconist, and I was having tobacco sent over and cigarettes. I was buying my missus's amber leaf, and I was buying things, cigarettes for myself, but I was buying things like JPS tobacco and the Turner and stuff, 50 grammers for something like fucking £6, and this was from a tobacconist. There was a £25 courier fee, and it was about 20 quid to exchange pounds into euros. But all told, I was only paying fucking £12.50 for a pouch of amber leaf, and it worked out at 5 quid odd for a packet of fags, delivered to the door by a courier from Holland, from Amsterdam. But then as soon as we left the fucking EU, the tobacconist banged up the charge on the courier to 90 quid, so that it's not worth fucking doing. You can still get it through, but unless you're going to buy half a fucking van load, which you're going to get caught for, I was just having a box, you know what I mean, with like, I don't know, fucking 5 kilos of tobacco and 1,000 fags or 1,200 fags, you know what I mean?
The courier doesn't drive from Holland though; it must go on a plane. Then
they drive. a courier in Amsterdam drives it to Rotterdam. It's put on the ferry, and it's given straight off the ferry to a courier this side, and then that courier will bring it straight to your door, wherever in the UK it was, straight to your door. Absolutely. I couldn't believe it. When I worked it out, I couldn't fucking believe it. How long I got away with it for before. I'd still be doing it now. If they hadn't put the charge up, I'd still be doing it now.
It was legal, though. It was like a legal load.
It was 100% legal, 100% legal, 100%. I was paying tax. I was paying my tax in Holland on the tobacco, so I was paying Dutch tax. And then the courier fee, obviously, some of that went to the UK government, and I was paying tax on exchanging my pound to euro. I was paying fucking 25 quid to the UK government or the banks or whatever.
Man, I'm surprised. I've met these people that go to Holland, make a small parcel, put tobacco in, and send it home.
It's 100% 100% legal. Yeah, I'm surprised not more people do it, but you know, I've seen people in post offices and shops will even do it for you. If you go into some tobacconists or even the corner shops and say, I want fucking, 5 kilo of fucking amber leaf, and you pay for it, they'll fucking arrange to send it for you. They'll go to the post office for you and do it. And it's worth their while, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're getting the customs and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember in the olden days, I think the place is still there. And I used to love go and get there. It'd have the big jars, and it was called shag. That's what tobacco is called, shag.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'd have a half ounce of shag, please.
Yeah, we got a few old style tobacconists near me where you can buy the old cherry shag and all the old flavors, the thick cut, the thin cut.
I used to have the chocolate one. I used to mix it with proper tobacco though, because I never got the nicotine. So I used to like 50-50 it. But strangely, because when I was in the bar trade, there was some non-smoking girls, and they used to always ask me, "Oh, smoke one of those vanilla ones."
Yeah.
The chocolate one, I'd do the chocolate flavored one. Everybody's going, "Oh, that's disgusting." "Oh, what is that?" It says it's like chocolate flavored tobacco. "Oh no, it's disgusting." The vanilla one, when I was smoking that, two girls used to ask me to smoke because you could do it behind the bar. You could actually do it behind the bar, well, you couldn't do it behind the bar. You had to just walk in front of the bar and you have a smoke. The good old days.
Yeah. Back in the day, we used to occasionally we treat ourselves to, like you said, the vanilla or the cherry flavor, and smoke it with our stuff to make it just for a difference. And there was one guy who didn't smoke cigarettes or normal tobacco at all, but he used to go in a special tobacconist and buy coconut tobacco to smoke his stuff with. 2 minutes, Shady. I've got to go. Someone at the door a minute. Nurse.
I'll keep the channel alive. Oh, God, I don't know what I've done with my hand. So, right, who's in here? We've got, we'll go from the bottom. We've got Paul C. We've got Glenda the Biacha. We've got the Nutter channel. We've got Kathy. We've got Robert Lee. We've got Ice Chain. Who else we got? We've got Bagman. We've got Mishi. We've got Robert Lee. We've got Speaking the Truth Live. We've got Jamie Sawyer. Oh, that's Snowy.
I am back. I just had to let my wife's nurse in a minute. She'll only be here a minute anyway. She's only come to test her bloods. That's all.
We've got Jose with a Lesse.
Big up, Jose.
No, he was on earlier on. I just went from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Saying hello to people.
Cheers for coming in, Shell.
A little bit down to the bottom of this now.
Yeah, I'm right behind on the old chat.
It's called multitasking. Men can't do it, so we've got an excuse.
Yeah, Snowy said he used to pop to Real Tobacco XL. Is that Belgium or Holland, Snowy? Because I'm tempted to, coming up to Christmas, just to do, because me and my missus haven't been anywhere, and if her health's good enough, I'm tempted to do a couple of nights in the dam, and if I can get hold of my mild tobacco, just bring a load back with me, you know.
Or like have a holiday sort of thing.
Yeah, Dutch tax.
How would your missus cope with dialysis though? Is it every day or every few days?
No, she's like 4, sometimes 5 days a week at the moment. But she can, if she dialyses for say 4 days out of 5, she can take 2 or 3 days off, as long as she doesn't take too much fluid in.
Strange. I like fluids because you can't drink basically. So at least you can get 2 days off. You can you'll do the driving, get there overnight, have a couple of days, and then you're back within 3 days.
Well, it's either because the only reason I'd want to go to the dam is because I'd want to have a puff. But saying that, me and the missus could just get in the Euro fucking Star and go to Calais and drive up to Belgium for tobacco. Yeah, Snowy said, but I thought Belgium's the cheapest at the moment for tobacco. It is.
Oh, and then just get a rental car.
Or we could, yeah, but if we
take your own car. I forgot.
Yeah,
on the tunnel.
yeah. No, if I drove, I'd be able to bring more back, and I know my missus would want to bring like cheese and stuff back, and the kids would fucking want booze and all that bollocks, you know.
Cheese is a commodity now. You know what you like, Littles? I used to like brie and camembert. We only got camembert that was 99 pence. It went up to £1.9. Now the same camembert is £2, but there's absolutely no brie because it's from France. It's not worth sending over by looks of it. So all this French cheese, I'm not having anymore. I have to stick with the British cheese, which is going up. But at least it's going up by 20%, not looking 100%.
Yeah. Robert Lee, I always stay outside the town centre in Amsterdam, and I'm a lingerer around the outskirts. Don't get me wrong, I do go into the centre if I go with people who haven't been much, because obviously they want to have a look, but I'm more than happy to not even go into the centre of Amsterdam at all.
Yeah, I had horror stories where you go into a nightclub and it's free, and it's free drinks. You see the girls, but when you come out, they go, "You've been in here an hour. We charge €5 for 10 minutes, and you've been in an hour. You owe us X amount of money," and they do that on the exit. So I've heard horror stories about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I get fucking. My missus would tell you because we've been together. I get embarrassed walking through the red light district because all the fucking girls are in the windows, tap, and as you walk past, I go fucking purple, and I'm just eyes forward, walk fucking straight.
It's just, I wouldn't even go into a strip bar to see girls dancing, and then forget the money. It's the dancing.
No, I've only done that once, and that was on rugby tour when we went to Amsterdam. The whole team went into like a Hooters or something, which isn't there anymore. The city council won't allow it anymore because it was like fucking trouble all the time, you know. Which is going to be, you can't open a Hooters in the middle of Amsterdam and be in the place that it is and not expect trouble with the girls and the punters. You're going to get a mix of Brits, Germans, fucking Americans all mixing together. Pissed. It's not going to end well, is it?
And to me, it's human nature. If you see a naked boob, you want to squeeze it. So you're going to get a lot of unwanted attention which is going to get kicked out if you want to
Yeah.
squeeze somebody who believes. Yeah, just to me, it's like weird.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna have a think about it whether to go over to the dam. I don't. It's probably not really worth it. Like, so I might just do France instead or Belgium. You know, through the Euro tunnel and go up into Belgium, have a look at some historical fucking World War II stuff, and fill the car with goodies.
I mean, France is good for the old stuff, especially at Dover and places like that, because they don't pull stuff down.
Yeah,
because they do where we pull stuff down. A lot of Europe don't they keep it as historical stuff? And if you look at World War II abandoned buildings, all
isn't
over
that
Europe, you get a lot
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Well, it's hard in the UK to find those sort of buildings. There is some sort of an echo chamber. It's like a radar, but it's echo. And I don't know what it does, but there's concrete domes pointing to France where
Yeah.
they receive stuff. Those concrete buildings are still there because there's like made of concrete, and obviously there's buildings there too. But that was like another form of radar.
Yeah. They used to have like they'd be wrapped in like fucking copper or whatever it was, and they'd sense the vibration of the fucking planes coming.
Yeah,
Or
that was it.
buzz
Like,
bombs, whatever, the doodle bugs. They'd sense the doodle bugs coming, send a wire through, and the barrages along the coast would open up, and the cities would get ready to get fucking rained on.
that was it. Yeah, it was sound recognition, wasn't it?
Yeah, vibration and whatever.
The one who invented that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like all that stuff, so and it's easier. We can do it in, and we only have to go for a night if we want. We're both early birds, so we could leave at 4 a.m, be in fucking Folkestone for I don't know 7:30 probably.
I mean, my mate, he's lucky because he earns a lot of money, but he works for a building company, and before EU, they used to have, they probably still have a Polish company, and as a director, he was allowed to go over there free. And this company, they didn't just sell the double glazed windows and stuff or the dormer windows.
Yeah,
they had a holiday complex, and they invited him. And he turned around and says, all I had to do was go around the tour of the factory and come back. But he said, I felt guilty because I wanted to go to Poland. So I paid for the flight, paid for everything myself, took my own holidays. I could have booked it under work. But he went because it was 100 kilometers away from Auschwitz. And he's got a bucket list of where he wants to go to in history. And one of them was to visit Auschwitz.
Yeah.
But his stay there, which was like 3 days, he didn't pay for anything, food, hotel, anything.
Yeah.
He just had to pay to get over there, bit of spending money. But he's seen the Arabora, those lights.
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah. He's seen that. He took his kids to see that. That was on his bucket list. Then with his new girlfriend, he had a holiday to go into the Brazilian forest to see that. So yeah, he has a bucket list, but he earns a lot of money. So what are you going to spend it on?
Yeah.
Live life in it.
Yeah, a few of the
world.
Yeah, I haven't watched them much lately, but there's a couple of metal detecting channels I watch, and they're like there's Russian ones, there's German ones, Belgium, Dutch, but a lot of them are out in the Ardennes forest, and fucking hell, man, they uncover trenches that have. Well, the one video, they get this big signal, so they start uncovering around these trees, and and they find a load of fucking decayed German helmets. So they're a bit disappointed, but they said, you know, sometimes they bury a lot of stuff together. So they lifted up like the top layer or the top 2 layers of helmets, and underneath was stacked like 50, 100 German helmets, perfectly preserved, where they obviously the Russians or the Americans had hold of a load of Germans, and the first thing they do to them, and it was take their helmets or their hats, badges, insignias off them, and either pocket the insignia or bury the fucking lot. The videos are amazing, mine. Some of the Russian ones are crazy because they're pulling up boxes of mortars that have been buried in mud. So they're still live, and they're just fucking pulling them out.
Also, the Germans used to bury it so the enemy couldn't get their ordnance. They used to bury everything so they couldn't get their stuff, and then they won't want the uniform on while they're trying to escape, because there was escaping, and they tried not to be in a uniform to escape.
But yeah, I'd probably go. Yeah, I'd probably go to the Ardennes if I went over there for a couple of days. I'd probably go to the Ardennes forest.
To be honest with you, I love to do that. Always wanted to do that. Metal detecting.
Yeah, I fancy it. I've just sort of resisted on getting one. My brother was on about getting one the other day because there's a lot of history around us, ancient history and sort of industrial history. But a lot of the ancient history isn't looked into. But I'd be fucking. I wouldn't want to go on the beacons metal detecting.
I saw something with a group of people. There's a group of people, and you want to go with a team, because you'll pick some up and think it's crap, and they'll go, no, that's a buckle, that's part of this, and you want the experts around you, to find out what you've got, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, my landlord, he's a friend for 20 years. He used to do the markets. He used to go Skegness and everything. He used to do the markets, you know, selling clothing and stuff. And he had a mate that every day when he was at Skegness, places like that, he'd do metal detecting on the beach.
Yeah.
And he'd find money, everything. It was like 20 years ago he's talking about. But he'd find money and all sorts on the beach. Because when you're lying down, you lose your money, don't you? And then the sand just cuts it all up. But then obviously you've got those artists where you get the driftwood, which is
that driftwood is worth a bit of money, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah,
people like it for their fish tanks, gardens, because it's preserved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's absorbed a lot of salt. It's preserved it, but it's bleached, and if you get the right shape, it's artwork in itself.
Yeah,
certain ones.
Yeah, I've just clicked on that Snowy and saw what it's about, and I'll be watching it straight after this.
Oh, link. There we go. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I've just clicked on it, Snowy, so it's in my watch list now, though.
Yeah, I'm working on trying to get my subs up, which I'm doing all right at the minute.
Yeah, mine are slowly creeping. I don't sort of push myself too hard, but I have taken to putting up shorts, 1 or 2 shorts a day, just movie quotes or just me fucking out with a dog or something. Some of them get good at it, some of them get fucking none.
I've got to work that out with the shorts, because I did the quick live stream, like 10-second live stream, which should be a short, but it's just in my normal stuff. I think you have to do a video that as you load it up,
then upload it. Yeah,
as a short. I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just been. I thought, what can I do for shorts that, obviously other people do it, but no, I can do it a little bit in my video style where I edit it to make it a bit funny, whatever. Yeah. So I just thought, fuck it, I'll do movie quotes, and they're only 15 seconds, you know what I mean? And I might do you know, where famous people fuck up in front of camera. I might just like, because there's loads of that about in there where people say things they shouldn't on camera, you know, celebrities. So I might do that for shorts as well, you know, because it just boosts your fucking algorithm a little bit and means, you know, when I do go live, a few more people fucking get notified or whatever.
Yeah, you've got to hit the 1,000. I've seen a lot of people that have 1,000, and then it changes the algorithm once you've got 1,000.
Yeah, my views have gone ballistic compared to sub growth in studio. Every time I go in there, I've achieved something according to YouTube. I don't know what the fuck it means, to be honest, but I've achieved a goal of some kind. And they usually says, "Do you want to publish this goal?" And I'm like, "No," but you know, it's fucking YouTube are sly because I'm on like nearly 600 subs, but my views are huge, just from a few shorts that I've done that have just gone fucking nuts for some reason. So YouTube are already trying to fucking tempt me into monetization. You know, I've said I've got no interest in it, but they're already trying to tempt me in. Every time I go into studio, it's you've achieved this, you're this much closer to monetization. 2 seconds.
Oh, he's going for 2 seconds. Hiya, Bagman. Hiya, Robert Lee. I used to know your brother, Bruce. This is an old joke. Hiya, Ludon. Ludon, Mrs. Moon. We've got another Mrs. Moon. Smash the like, Lou. We've got live follower. Anybody who's got a spanner that wants my channel, you're welcome. This account, I haven't got a spanner. My other account, I've got the spanner. So it is what it is. This is a channel that I got back, which I'm really happy with because it's got all my old videos on it. And some of them are really good. That's my evil laugh. Yeah, I've got 874 subscribers now. And if I ever do a live stream, shit, my last live stream was 12 days ago. The fuck? Oh no, it wasn't. I did one dinner and then it got taken down, or was that the other channel? I don't know. No, 800. I'm 26 away from 900. So yeah, slowly catch the worming. I need to put this down because I'm chain smoking the hell out of it. And the battery's not that bloody brilliant. I've got two, but I'm overpowering the batteries. I need a third, which I'll get in a couple of weeks. And get a double charger, I believe you can get. So I can do 3 channels. Yeah, thank you, Lou. And Lou, put your channel up so I can subscribe to you. Oh no, I could just double check, can't I? And watch videos when you're doing this. You have to, I click the full bell icon so you can go back.
Sorry about that, Shady.
Yeah, I was just chatting in the chat.
Yeah, I just had a knock on the door and it was a lady police officer.
Oh.
Yeah, asking about my CCTV cameras because an old lady on a mobility scooter was fucking robbed in the town yesterday afternoon.
Oh. There was another video where an old bloke got killed, wasn't it? He got attacked in the street. I saw that video. And then he got attacked, got into a house, but I think he died from his attacks, and yeah, they're asking for CCTV. It's important that if you've got CCTV, then they've got to have a memory card, and then they can take all the information. Okay, now I can't fucking cope with this heat. I know it's winter, but I have to have the fan on.
Oh, sorry about that again, then, Shady. My brother just came through and to see what the fuzzers wanted. My brother and sister-in-law are staying with us at the minute, so. But no, yeah, I just said, morning, Albert. I just said to my brother about what the fuzz wanted, and she gave me a description to have a look on the camera for. And my brother said the same. A dude with the same description was fucking like hanging around his car the other evening. My brother's car. And where I live in the town centre, yeah, we get crime, but I've never had any problems with anyone trying to rob my cars or try and break into the house or anything. You know what I mean? And this galley's around fucking eyeing up people's cars, and he's robbed an old woman yesterday on a fucking mobility scooter. So I'm presuming he won't be. He'll be new to the town. He won't be from the town because people won't fucking tolerate it. Sort of community where that will not be fucking tolerated. The word will get.
Everybody knows strangers.
You know what I mean? It's that's the sort of community I live in. Small, close knit.
Everybody knows strangers.
Everybody knows. No,
you don't have to lock up. You don't lock up your cycle because everybody knows whose cycle that belongs to, and if somebody else is on it, they know it's been robbed.
Yeah, obviously there's a few scallies. Don't get me wrong, but people don't generally fucking do shit like that in this town because it just generally isn't tolerated. They'll be seen by someone half cut and coked one night, and that person will think, well, you robbed an old lady fucking a couple of months ago, and just smack them one. You know what I mean? It's fucking, yeah, it's not on. I don't like interacting with the fuzzers if at all possible, you know what I mean? But for something like that, I will have a look on my camera and see if I can see anything,
No, it's like you're giving. But I mean, my landlord, this has got full CCTV. But,
morning, Bobby.
Morning, lads. How we doing?
All right, Bobby.
Yeah, good.
For the first time.
Apart from just having the police at the door.
yeah. It's amazing what they how they get the find out things in this day and world. We live in a world full of cameras, don't we?
Yeah. I've got a couple on my house just covering my drive, my front door, side door.
Yeah.
And where we park the cars, you know what I mean? But the town centre's got 4 or 5 CCTV cameras in it. It's but they're sort of hit and miss whether they're working or not.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's so accessible now and all. I remember when I got my first camera years ago, maybe 25 years ago, and it cost a fortune.
Yeah.
Like 300 quid back then just to get 2 cameras. But now, especially with Amazon and DIY kits, it's so easy. And you can put it through your TV. You just turn a channel and you can see what's happening outside.
And you like my landlady, she's got the app because there's internet here, internet home, and all her cameras are connected to Wi-Fi. So she can actually check up on her house that's like 8 miles away or 6 miles away, seeing what the dog's doing, seeing what the sheep are doing, and she's got all and these are HD 4K. So you just go like that on her iPad, she just goes and zooms in, or she does that and zooms in, and it's amazing who they see that look like little dots, and then they zoom in, and you can actually recognise those people.
Yeah. Mine's a cheap Chinese one, but the quality's good. It's just a pain in the ass to connect to the Wi-Fi. Jump through hoops on mine, but it's all right. It records 24 hours. Like
my local landlord, he went to Spain for an holiday and left somebody in charge of the pub, and he was tuning in every night through his Wi-Fi and watching what's going on in the pub. And the guy who was looking after the pub got a phone call and he said, "Get that dog out of my pub. We don't have dogs in the pub." It was amazing, you know, how accessible it is. It's just craziness. It's craziness. And but it's good for security. He's like the guy I'm talking about. He's got 3 pubs in the village, in the surrounding areas, and he can watch what's going on in all of them. You know, he has managers in, but he can watch as well. So it's a good thing, you know. I mean, it's Big Brother, isn't it? I mean, they did say we'll eventually be watched. Whatever we do, everything's traceable. But in some ways, crime doesn't seem to ease up, if you like. You still have these serious crimes, don't you? You think today, if you did anything wrong, within matter of yards, there's a camera picks you up.
Yeah.
What they do now, though. Yeah, but what they do now with football matches, those kids stealing all the food, they just videoed it, and with face recognition, they find the criminals a couple of weeks later. That's why the police for those kids, they didn't do anything. All they was doing was filming everything, and then they get the criminals later on.
That face recognition is clever. Yeah, it's very clever.
Yeah,
that's going to take eventually. That's going to take over fingerprints, isn't it? I mean, they've already got ID. You can actually use your eyes because your eyes are individual, and you know, like to access things, doors, etc. You can actually look into something. They started using that. You know, it's amazing what's going to happen within the next 100 years. You know, fingerprints be a thing of the past.
Well, that's it. My Chinese phone's got facial recognition on it. I don't use it. I use thumbprint recognition, but it's got facial recognition on it on my Huawei phone. So I know if I use that facial recognition, my phone's going to send that straight to the main Huawei fucking servers. And I'm going to be on their server. I am anyway, obviously, because of my phone. You know, it's that's the way it is now. We're all being monitored anyway. So
my mate, who I got his old phone from, Samsung, he had facial recognition. And he'd put it to his phone, he'd put it to his face, and it wouldn't activate. And then, what was the face you pulled? And he went, it was like, oh, you can't see it. It was like, I said, do the face. And then it actually went, yeah, we'll open your phone. But he pulled it, when he smiles, he pulls a funny face when he smiles.
Yeah.
But
I tell you what I don't like is this these contactless cards now. Now it's something I don't want. I've never wanted, but unfortunately now with my bank you can't get they're all contactless, but you don't have to use it. You know, you don't have to use it as contactless. Well, my friend, he's crazy. He has his in his wallet, and he actually, when he goes to pay, he don't get it out of his wallet. He just touches and he picks it up, and that is crazy. Now I thought, there must be a way, you know, stop people being that silly. And if you do look on Amazon now, you can actually buy wallets with tin plates in them. It's more like tin foil. So because it is a prime example of how somebody could walk up behind you with one of these machines and tap your pocket. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's being done, isn't it? It's like the old the little buttons or little boxes you can buy to copy car keys. It's exactly the same principle. The same principle. My daughter had her details stolen. I think it was either shopping or a night out in Newport. And someone either, you know, they just tapped the device against her phone or whatever it was and fucking had her details. You know, it's naughty as fuck. In the end, they're gonna say to us that there's nothing we can do about it. no security is good enough. You're going to have to be chipped. That's, you get microchip in your hand. That's, and that'll be everything then, won't it?
I mean, if you ever lost your cards and you ring the bank straight away, usually you're pretty safe. But with this technology now, you don't even know it's happening to you. So it's scary technology, and I'd have thought when they brought the contactless cards out that they'd actually put adverts on explaining that people must be careful using them. They don't seem to give us that that warning, because technology, people don't understand it, and they're infiltrating it. I mean, 25 years ago they were making these little gadgets that fit on the mini banks to trace your details, didn't they? Little plastic gum. Because I remember when I used to go to the mini bank, I used to say to my wife, always rattle it, make sure it's not loose, the slot, because
yeah.
They used to put a card reader over the slot, and it was so slim you wouldn't even notice it.
That's right. And it's scary. It's technology. Maybe I'm getting old now, and I'm old school. I still use I just use a cash card. That's it, and I get cash out of the bank, and I always deal in cash if I can.
Yeah, I try. I do use my card contactless, but I'm one of these people that still got a fucking checkbook.
Yeah, checkbooks.
They try like dishing them out, and they trying to phase them out. But if you ask for one, they've got to give you one.
Well, it's a case of you've got to give time for previous generations to accept, don't you? I mean, like my parents aren't alive, but my wife's are, and they're in the 90s. They know what they know. They grew up with a tin box. They took the wage home once a week. It went in a tin box. That was for rent. That was for this. That was for that, and that's how they lived. So they're still into checks and things like that. So you've got to allow for that generation, haven't you? Still around. So I think it'll be another good 20 years before they actually do get shut of things like that, checkbooks, and because they are still around.
You'll have your chip. You'll get your wages, and they'll scan your chip and put your wages on your chip, and then you just be going like that, paying for stuff.
That's another one that they're trialing in the States. They've asked employees, and the Americans are nuts, aren't they? They've asked certain companies ask employees if they're allowed to chip them, so that they're a human being chipped like a dog. And when they turn up for work, they just put the wrist to the machine. It tells them it's them. And likewise, when they get paid, they'll just be able to chip, walk in, because you've got your chip in your. Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah, pay him so much. It's crazy. It's a crazy world, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen a video of a company in Sweden trialing it. It's got to be a year or two ago now, but certain number of employees had chips implanted. And like Shady said, all their wages went on their chip, but they could go in, use the vending machines or the cafe, scan their hand, and it gets taken straight out their wages at the end of the month. And they were trialing it, obviously, trialing the monetary system with it, and it worked for what I can't remember what company it was. Might be one of the big ones like IKEA or Volvo or someone. But it's one of the big companies who's involved in tech as well as other stuff.
Yeah. Isn't that going backwards? I mean, if you go back 100 years ago, especially in the north where I am, there were a lot of mills and textile. It was textile area of the north of England was a textile area of the world. They used to come and trade it in, and most people who lived in the village also worked at the local mill, and originally they didn't get paid in cash. They got paid in vouchers that they spent at the mill shop. So their whole life was controlled round the mill, and that went on for decades and decades, 100 years. Well, when you look at this chip system, isn't it a similar thing when you think about it?
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a scary thought, and it's scary what China are doing with the facial recognition. And Like you hear the stories of people being rewarded with extra money and nice cars, and they get to live in a better area if they grass their neighbours up. And then there's the story of, I don't know if you've seen it, there's videos of the guy who was going out every day and getting drunk on the street corner, smoking, flicking his fag ends, abusing people and spitting on people and that. And they kept going and locking him up, stopping his money. And they were wondering where he was getting his booze from and all. And in the end, they ended up locking him up for a couple of months because he kept getting pinged by the facial recognition for being a nuisance.
Yeah.
It's fucking bonkers, It's
crazy. Total control.
With the mills, where I live, I live in Derby. It's all terraced houses. Yeah, and it was a real big industrial area in Derby.
Yeah.
And that's why you've got corner shops, because the mill owners own the shops, and they would, like you say, either their money or their vouchers, and you'd have to go to the corner shop, which they owned.
Yeah.
The building that I'm in now, the shop, was probably owned and built by a mill owner, like all the shops on my street.
Yeah.
And that's how, and then the houses were supplied by the mill owner. So you didn't want to lose your job. You'd work under terrible conditions, because if you didn't like it, you'd lose your home and everything.
And what was the other choice was, apart from the mills, was going to the iron working or the coal mining industries, which were just as fucking bad.
Well, it was a class system, wasn't it? They had such a class system, but very few people held all the money, if you like. So it was controlled. So you might have 3 industries in a town or a city, and you'd got a choice, and it was to their rules. And like you said, it was their houses, their shops, their communal, and it were like, right, we'll work for this guy, this mill owner, because he's got great shops, great homes, people. We know Fred and Ethel will work for them, and they've even got a social club on site. And they went for the full package, in last century, early part of last century. That's what they went for, and generations of people did it, and that's how it was. And I only brought it up because of, like I said, with this chipping, that's, strange as it sounds, is going backwards, isn't it? In some ways.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. The town where I live, the Industrial Revolution sort of started here with here and Iron Bridge with Gilchrist Thomas, but the first iron working in the UK is in the town where I live. And one of the biggest coal mines in South Wales is in the town where I live. And the town at one point had an influx of people from Derbyshire and Cumbria to come and work in the industries. Every street had 3 or 4 pubs, 3 or 4 corner shops, all owned by different companies. And the town had a population of 30,000 plus. And now it's down to like 5,000, 6,000.
Really?
Yeah. And that's most of the old industrial stuff has gone. Anything that's left is protected. But the amount of terraces that were ripped down, and the historic photos of the town in the 1700s and 1800s is unrecognizable. It's
I remember as a kid, going to school and walking past these textile mills and hearing them. And, you could look across, because I'm in Yorkshire, there's a lot of valleys. You could look across the valley and you'd see maybe 6 or 7 chimneys, all pumping, the smoke out. And it was just it was so intense. That was the industry, if you like. I've moved from that town, if you like, from when I was a kid now, but the small town I'm in now, it had 2 or 3 companies that everybody, one was a carpet company, another one was a textile company, there was, I forget what the other one was, but most of the area worked there. Anybody I talked to who was around where I am now was kids. They either worked there or the parents worked there. So it's still, that's what makes communities, isn't it? That's what makes us think how we think.
I think before the 1980s, it was a guaranteed that your son or daughter would work at the place your father or mother worked at. It was guaranteed. Like the railway, British Railway, Derby, it's in the centre. The railway was big. We used to make trains. I think we still do. Bombardier. You know, it's big industry. We've got Rolls Royce. And if any of your parents worked there, you was guaranteed a job.
Yeah.
Then the 80s hit, and you wasn't guaranteed a job. With the recession in like 1981,
Correct.
82.
Correct. I mean, yeah, we don't want to talk politics, but I think Thatcher changed all that, didn't she?
Yeah.
When the biggest downfall with the coal mines, I mean, everybody has coal mines, especially up north. There's a coal seam runs through most of the north of England, and you know there was a pit, and every village.
Yeah.
But now we import it. We don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sad fact, isn't it? That's you know.
Arthur Scarsdale, I can't remember who it was. It was Iran, somewhere like that. During this miners' strike, a certain Arab country gave a couple of million to the miners' union, and they could, because the union was powerful, everybody put it in. You could actually get a mortgage from the union, better rate than anything you could get from a bank. Arthur Scargill, with this donated money to help the starving strikers, he paid his house with that money. He paid an extension, and all the ones that was on the committee, they got all the mortgages paid for with this Iranian, I think it was Iranian money. And I watched that documentary. It was like secrets of Arthur Scarsdale, what he was doing. And he wasn't living poor, but he was saying, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm struggling to all the strikers, but he wasn't. He had his hands on millions.
Yeah,
well, he was basically a politician, wasn't he? I mean, he was a union leader, but he was a politician. And they work very similar to union leaders and politicians, and rightly so, because they've got to deal with each other. But yeah, that was sad. I mean, I experienced. I was too young to be involved in the pits. They virtually went when I'm in my early 20s. But I did see some people. You know, their lives were devastated, families. And, you know, one of the sad ones was, I remember some pit lads telling me that they were on the picket line and the police were mocking them, saying, hey, we're on double time for this.
Yeah, they are. They earn more money than they've ever earned.
And it was just ridiculous, you know. People, they couldn't feed their families, and yet the police were turning around and saying things like that to them.
Yeah.
But that provocation, you know. But nothing was done about that. Now today, maybe something would be done, because I feel we do have more of a say today, you know, because of social media, if nothing else.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just said that quite openly, and that word can spread so easy on social media. Yeah. So you know, in a way, we've got more freedom, if you like.
I mean, BBA filmed this factory. It doesn't look nothing, but they make engines for drones that Israel buys to bomb the Palestinians.
Wow.
And the engines are made in this country, but you wouldn't know it. And they've got ex-military as security guards.
Yeah.
BBA, you know, Bear Britain Orders, did that video, a couple of videos. And it is social media. That's how we're learning now. I'm not beyond for months and months and years.
So for centuries, they've formed a narrative. You know, the leaders of the world, they've formed a narrative, and we followed it. they've limited our access to things. You know, I mean, during the Second World War, who knew what were happening? Nobody. You only knew by the radio or your local newspaper. You knew nothing.
Telling you.
So the onset of the internet is the biggest headache the leaders of the world have ever had, because I couldn't start to think of how many countries there are in the world that have the internet, but each country has its own different law. So if I want freedom of speech, and it's not allowed in my country, I can go get a VPN and say I'm somewhere else. It's just crazy, isn't it? So this internet it's a nightmare for them. It's a nightmare. They can't create a narrative with the internet because of freedom of speech. But you know, it's one of those things. You know, this is the world we live in now.
There was a documentary I saw about 8 years ago. Can't remember who by, but he did a lot of research on American prisons and why they've got the rule third strike and you're out, which means you get life imprisonment. So you could commit attempted murder, serve 10 years, do another crime, could be shoplifting, you're in jail again. And then you could do shoplifting again on the third time and you get life imprisonment. And he explains it's the new slavery, because in American prisons, they have to work. They make mailbags, registration plates, they make toasters, they make kettles. And it's because it's slave labor, if you like, inmates, it's cheaper than the Mexican imports. And that's one reason. And that live stream, that was taken down because America went, we're not having this. And they got it taken down off YouTube. I can't remember who did it.
That's the only way they can do it, is like now the police in YouTube. You know, there's key words that you say. We all know you can't say certain words on YouTube, because if you do, they pick it up. And then there's somebody, you know, checking out your video. And we all know somebody who's lost a video or whatever, just simply. That's why on lives, you've got to have, you know, rules like you have, you know, and because they're trying to keep this narrative, if you like, you know. I know
we've been fed a narrative for so long, so many hundreds of years, and now people are just questioning that. That's it's good for that. Just questioning everything.
You've only to go back 5 years or maybe a little bit more on YouTube, and the freedom of speech was 10 times what it is now. It's just you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, there's certain things you can't talk about. I know one word that's safe that doesn't get picked up is pandemic, but we all know what that is. But you start talking about that and use the C word, and it's picked up. And the next thing, there's some scrutinising your video because they don't want their narrative being effective.
Yeah, I'm surprised I get away with what I do in my little videos and stuff. Because I've had one video removed by YouTube and I'm on a warning.
It's very tough when you get to. I mean, my last channel had 2,500 subs, and it changes because about the algorithms. They're watching a lot more, and you get more emails from YouTube. You know, you've got to be careful. They'll tell you, they'll say that next video cannot be monetized because of this or whatever, or please do not use that subject, or there's certain things they don't like you using. So it does change, you know. It's control, isn't it? It's control. They want to control you. So I don't monetize. I will not monetize because I want that freedom. And if they want to take a video down, they can take it down. You know, that's me personally. Because another thing about becoming monetized is that you can become a slave to YouTube. You can actually be following that narrative for them, you know. And I don't want to.
No.
People support you. I found that people that support you, they want you to do what they want.
And
they joined you for your personality, but they want to alter your personality.
Yeah, they do. They want to. I'm waiting for the day comes when there's a channel's got 1 million subscribers and isn't monetized and speaks the mind. Now that has happened, and all of a sudden they'll disappear.
Yeah.
You know, it's because some people just want to express their feelings. You know, they want to say, you know, there's more to life than what we're told. But yeah.
Morning,
Oh,
guys.
Morning, Vincent.
Morning, Ministry. Morning, Shady.
Yeah,
I don't know the other chap. We've never met before.
That's Bobby from The Real Honest Truth.
Oh, okay, Bobby. Have you got a channel, have you?
Yeah. The honest truth, the real honest truth, mate.
Get your link up and I'll sub right now. My name is Vincent. I've been listening to it. Yeah, I'm all right. Thank you. A little bit of a cough and a little bit of a cold, really. So I might sound a bit craggy. But I wanted to ask a question. Do we need or should we have a regulated social media internet? Because over the last few years, we've seen TikTok where children are following these little fads and trends and killing themselves. And I understand it's very restrictive that you can't talk about COVID or anything like that on YouTube without being sort of held up for it. But it's difficult to police everything. So do we really need regulation on the internet?
Good question.
Yeah.
Morning, Albert.
I would say in certain areas, yeah. Because we can't have a free for all on, like, how can I say it without sounding awful? Yeah, paedophilic stuff. Right, we can't have a free for all on that. We just can't. It's bad enough as it is. You know, you hear it in the press all the time about, you know, people's hard drives and fucking and nah. I don't know. It's a really good question.
But should we? I personally think it has to be policed. It's got to be policed for the simple reason that it's the likes of suicide, mental health, as you said, sexual crimes and things like that. But do you think, if I could just bounce one back at you, do you think they should be making us more aware? Do you think they should be making, you know, videos explaining what we should and shouldn't be doing? As in, please be aware that people, you know, if you push somebody too far, things can go wrong. You know, things to look out. You know, they could police it, and they could actually get their channel creators to self-police if they used it in the right way. If they brought it back, you know, making creators aware. You know, I think that's the way to do it. But are they obliged? Are they obliged? They have to.
Well, I think they're more so instructed by those who sort of rule us, really. They don't want us talking about certain things, and that's fine because we can still do it in the real world, and they're not able to police that. Sometimes, if you use your opinion on an internet social media site anyway, people tend to not really listen to you as though, you know, it's sort of final and absolute. But there is no code of conduct. There's no code of conduct that tells us what we can and can't talk about.
Morning, Brian.
But they simply police us, and I don't like that. But I feel strongly as the father of an 11-year-old boy who's very impressionable, like most 11-year-old boys are. I don't want things being sort of told to him that he might follow, you know.
Well, the thing is as well, should we be educating children in schools regarding social media?
Of course.
I do.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's a mad world out there, and, you know, there's people manipulate, and as you said, children are vulnerable. They can easily be manipulated. So how do we educate not only children, but, you know, every internet users? There's no big push, and I think there should be a big push towards, you know, care and attention when you're on the internet.
The best thing a parent can do is make their child street smart, whether that involves that children having like tough love. Get out there and fight him when he comes back crying because somebody had a fight with him. Get back out there and give him a fucking bang on the nose. That's what I tell my son in a very nice way. So we create our children to be street smart, and we try to do that early so that when they get older, there's no real shocks. Do we, or should we, be making them internet smart?
Yes, I think so. Children aren't as street smart as we were growing up, because we spent most of our summers and whatever outside, didn't we?
We did.
Getting dirty, swimming in ponds.
Well, when did
running field?
Around about 2000, it really took off. Is that right? The internet with the social medias, etc. Around about
social
20 years.
Media, early 90s, I would say, with
Right.
all the MSNs and Yahoos.
Yeah, Yahoo Ale, chat rooms,
Well, you've got to look at it generationally. So the millennium children now are the ones that are setting the precedents, should be setting the precedents for their children.
Yeah.
And we're going to be left behind. We're the founders, if you like. We're the guys who were there from day one, and it's down to the next, our children to really set the formation, the foundation, if you like, as to how it should be. When you say educate and hard love, etc., that's how I think it'll have to be. My children now are teaching their kids that the safety of internet. It's so easy for the government to put a thing out saying, oh, just get restrictions on the internet, just put a guard on and just watch your children. That's not the case. I don't think that's the case. I think it's a case of education. The schools should be learning them, and parents. I mean, like I said, my generation is a little bit long in the tooth to be understanding everything on the internet. But my children now in the 30s, they can teach theirs, and I think that's the way it should be,
And to make a final point before Shady or Ministry comes in, is I know in British schools, they're sort of abating certain topics. They don't want kids talking about certain things. But I'm very, very aware at sort of very young ages, similar ages to my son, they've got you in a classroom asking you one by one to put your hand up and explain what your chosen sexuality is. So that is perfectly acceptable. But kids or adults not talking about COVID or the government in a certain way is restricted. That's the problem I have. What they've normalised is the bit that scares me. It doesn't scare me that people are stopping me from talking. It scares me more that they're encouraging talk about gender, sexuality. They're asking children in Scotland at the moment all manner of questions on a survey which is going around the schools about anal sex, oral sex, and all manner of things. And I think the age is about 12, 13 in Scotland for this survey. That's the bit that scares me. What we're allowed to talk about is a bit more scarier.
Yes, we've been worrying, not too much, but a bit. What's been coming about all these games for kids, about there being, like Roblox and whatever it may be, all these secret domains that can be created by anybody. Yeah. And there's little accesses to them through the game that are secret to the game developers, and the sort of thing that goes on in these games is unbelievable. And most of these like little offshoots are made by grown men.
My son uses Roblox, plays on Roblox, but he's under strict instructions to have the communication aspect of that not used ever, and you can only sort of take their word for it that is not.
12-year-old granddaughters, they communicate through Roblox, you know what I mean? And it's dodgy. They got TikToks as well, and I'm really worried about that, because it's I know it is more than police, but not. It's like really, really freaky. Like,
the sad thing is, every platform you go on, whether it be gaming, which I'm not into, but I mean, gaming, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, they all have their communication part, don't they? Their communication side, so you can interact with other people. Why has this occurred without, it's sort of like, this is how it is now, this is how it is, you've got to accept it. Why hasn't there been any warning or explanation of how it should be used to try and educate people, because it's going to be misused if not, it's like anything, isn't it? You buy anything and it'll have anything that's dangerous, it'll have a warning on the back and you read the warning. With the internet, nothing's been given, it's just thrown at you, isn't it? This is why I believe education for young people is so important regarding the internet.
Well, every site would have its terms of service, but who in God's name reads those?
Correct. A child's not going to read them anyway, are they? They're not interested to them.
Us being highly intelligent men, as most men are, we don't even read instructions, do we, Shady? We buy an incredibly complicated machine designed and invented by a man. We don't even need the instructions. We're so advanced.
We just look at the picture.
Exactly.
We'll look at the diagram and put it together.
The word I was looking for was, why didn't they create a culture of awareness when they when all this was thrown at people? Why this culture of awareness, basically, let everybody know that it's cool, is this, if it's used in the right way, because it's, especially kids, they must be baffled by the amount of access they can get to things, even with parental control on. There's ways around it, and we all know, we've all been kids, we've all gone to school and someone said, oh, I've got a passcode for this, or I know how to get through this, and it's shared. It's just crazy to me.
Well, when the internet was unleashed to the general public, the government weren't that bothered about it. I don't think the government understood how influential the internet was going to be. So it was left totally unregulated. I remember the early days with the BBSs and things like that, the standard communication channels. The government then realised how powerful, how influential the internet would be, so they have to attempt to control it. But because there's no real legislation, they have to build it piece by piece. Obviously, you're probably all aware about the online bill, which has been scrapped, but will come back in some form. But nobody will read that fucker as well. So
another point is how can you have legislation with so many countries involved who have different laws? You've got to be able to create that. It's just mind blowing when you think about it, isn't it? How do you control the internet? You can't control the internet. As I said earlier, if I want freedom of speech and I can't have it in my country, I don't even have to leave my home. I can get a VPN and it'll scramble my IP, and they think I'm in Netherlands or I'm in Australia, whatever. It's just, it's just not possible to police it. The internet, I think, it's a wonderful thing, but like you said, it hasn't been thought through, has it? When they've released it,
I think when it, like AOL, Yahoo, and even MySpace, the things people used to get away with, publicly are a lot more, I'd say, a lot harsher than they are today. But now the darker side of the internet is more prevalent, and I wouldn't know how to access the dark web or anything like that because I never have. But there is that whole other side of the internet that's, there's servers and programs that can hide that stuff. If you know how to get into it, you know how to get into it, and they get shut down. They just regenerate a new one. It's I think.
And you're not even a person. You're a username in today's world. You're not even a person. You're a username. And I mean, I am looking at the downside of the internet, but the biggest thing that it's affected, and it's affected us in our everyday life, is it's closed down the high street. You know, look at emails. They've taken away the postman, haven't they? The postman now, I'd say 50% of my post now is junk mail. You know, and it's closed things down such as that. You know,
those things can come back. There can be a renaissance. You know, we can. These things are trends. We can sort of choose to bring them back.
If you could create a culture to do that, but I think it's very strong is the internet as a you know, but you'd need to create that culture of the high street. I mean, I'd still try now. I mean, you know, even with the supermarkets, I've fought against them for many years, and it's cost me because I try and shop once a week at my local butchers. You know, at least once a week, just to support my local butcher. Now I can get the same thing in the supermarket for less money. But it's I think you need to try and preserve certain things and keep, because that's part of your culture. You know, as we said earlier, you know, we all worked and lived in the same area, and that's what created communities. And if you're not careful, that community can disappear. You know.
So we're throwing away our own cultures based on
price. We are.
Our cultures have been, everyone's cultures, unless you're a very secular society, everyone's culture has been being watered down since the invention of the internet. If you've only got to look at, I'll just say this for an example, South Korean J-pop or K-pop or whatever it is, they all speak with broken American accents because they've been brought up on fucking US TV. I know the US has got a big influence there, but that's all they watch is mostly US TV. So they've all got weird, broken US accents, and you know, that's obviously due to after the Second World War, the Americans moving in, basically, and the internet. You know,
can you imagine what it's like now for teachers in schools with this? You know, it'd be totally different to when we were kids, because now you can find out anything. Look at Google search. There must be billions of things every minute of every hour. So kids must be going to school now being you know, oh, I'm going to prove him wrong. My teacher said that yesterday. Now I'm going to prove him wrong. It's a total different, and that's all because of the internet, even affecting our schools. You know, because it's so accessible. That's what's done it. Is the accessibility as it's communities aren't communities anymore as such. They're online communities. You know, especially with children.
We're now experiencing children who are raised by the internet and social media, because it's fair to say there are some poor parents out there, or busy parents having to work all the time because it's very expensive to live. Parents who weren't designed to be parents as well. So the internet is raising a lot of those kids. You know, what are they going to look like in 20, 30 years' time?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know because of the age of my kids. Yeah, the eldest are both 28, and from the minute they were, you know, my son has been a console addict from like 2 or 3 years old, because I had like PlayStation 1 or whatever it was when he was born, and Mega Drive and whatever. You know, because my age, like I'm 48, so I remember the Vex Trex. If anyone remembers Vex Trex, the machine, right?
Same
and the Amstrad,
almost.
Yeah, Commodore 64 and all that.
ColecoVision.
So I was right. Yeah, I was right into my Mega Drive and the PS1. So my son, and he streams gaming now. He has been his whole life completely addicted to consoles. So
when we were that age,
it's 30 years now. You know what I mean? It's been gripping youngsters.
We had grown out of it by that age, long grown out of it. You know, we'd played a little bit of the Spectrum, the Commodore, and things like that. But by the time you were 2021, you were doing adult stuff, really.
Yeah.
Working probably.
Yeah.
Well, guys, sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to have to leave you. Thanks for letting us come on, Ministry.
No worries, Bobby.
Very interesting chat. I love going on these little panels where you put the world to rights. You know, your own little way.
It's like being sat Bobby.
It's like being sat in the pub and sharing a beer, isn't it, and putting the world to rights.
Oh, you're talking my language now.
Everyone go to the pub. Glenda, put your coat on.
Drop a comment, Bobby, and I'll link you. I'll link you in the chat.
Okay, mate. Thanks a lot. Have a good day, guys. See you later.
Thank you, Bobby. Cheers, Bobby.
Now I can swear it with Vincent.
Go on, Shady. I'm ill and weak. Take advantage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just to answer Bagman, I'm not always ill, but just recently I've had a couple of coughs and colds. It's all the stress.
And time of year, innit? It's the
it is
climate, temperature change, and moisture in the air.
If you want to cry about your illnesses, you need to watch more of Laura Lou's channel. She'll give you pointers.
I haven't seen her for ages, Shady. I haven't seen a few people for ages. Grip has disappeared. You had disappeared. I thought you were possibly having some work done, Shady. You know, a bit of Botox, bit of half a facelift or whatever it's called.
I've just been. I got a new channel where you don't need a VPN, and I can watch all the TV shows that I miss, like The Walking Dead. So I've been concentrating on that. But there is a paranoia that, there is a rumor that I've had a 7-day strike, a 7-day ban. I don't know if that's true.
I bet it is. The amount of fucking music you play, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm on a warning, but I'm surprised that I haven't been struck for music because I've had a stream cut midstream for directly streaming video from YouTube.
Well, mine was two old BBC channels. I can't even remember what they was fucking called, but I played them at the start because I was bored. I only played them for like 2.5 minutes. I did a 9-hour live stream, 8 hours plus. Then when I went up the next morning, it was a red mark going, "You're not going to be monetized, and because of the BBC, we're taking your live stream down."
Blimey.
And I looked at it, and it was right at the start of my live stream.
And Andrew J's gone AWOL as well.
Yeah, he's gone quiet, hasn't he? He's a lot of shit.
He was on the cesspit one night last week, I think.
Okay. I haven't spotted him. Turned together.
But he was talking to Film Boy, and it was like 8-9 o'clock in the evening, and he was having his first beer. So I think he's been in contact with a few people, but he's just having a bit of a hiatus, I think.
I think he's getting on the border of, does he want to pack up drinking or don't he? And he's probably thinking, what happens when I sober up? Am I going to be the same person? Am I going to be happy? Am I going to be sad? And it's when your brain works like that way, you don't want to back up, which is good. I mean, I'm still drinking the same, but I just try and go, I've had enough to drink, bye-bye. And I go and get 2-3 hours nap. And
what do you think, Shady? Would he be happier without it?
I don't know, mate, because it's my natural, it's a painkiller to me. So the fear of being in pain again and taking drugs, painkillers. I had that before I was an alcoholic, and it's horrible. You're taking so many painkillers and you just feel sick every day, and it's doing nothing for you. Because I'm chronic asthmatic. I've got breathing issues. They can't give me the strong stuff. It's basically paracetamol that's got a bit of coproximol in or something like that. Same with the antidepressants. Everything's mild dose because I've got basically a lung disease.
Yeah,
and
I've got.
And I'm allergic to stuff.
Yeah, I've got a bit of an addictive personality, so I puff a bit, But I know if I gave up the puff, I'd probably end up having a couple of cans a night or something. But I've got no tolerance for alcohol at all, none at all whatsoever. You know, a couple of shandies and I'm wobbly. But if I don't have a smoke for a bit, I can have a couple of beers and it doesn't affect me. So it's obviously something to do with that. But, you know, if I didn't have a smoke, I know I'd be having a couple of cans a night or something.
Shady, Albert Pike said earlier, I think people should pass a breathalyzer test before logging on.
Probably, yeah.
I'd fail the swab test every time.
I think it's valid for me in a
would.
car. If I had a car, let's say I was in a situation and I got a car again, I would have one of those machines where I have to pass a breathalyzer test to even turn the key. I'd be up for that. But then again, what do I need a car for? I've got everything where I live. Don't need a car.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't do is smoke in the car or anything, or carry any sort of substances in the car ever. I'm a bit fucking weird like that. You know what I mean?
I worked hard to get my driving license, so no way I'm ever going to risk it by losing it over having alcohol on my breath. I had to use my expertise to con the driving instructor that I was going to take him to court if he failed me. So he passed me. Respect. It's a long story, but
I'm going to have to be rude and jump out in 2 minutes. My missus is Davros up to her machine. She's going to want a cuppa a minute, so 2 minutes, I'll be back.
All right, man.
So how you been doing, Vincent? Any more amazing videos?
I did. Sharky had a bit of a swipe at me the other day, so I made a quick one for him. I haven't had time, Shady. I'm working really hard. Back in the UK, thought I would be a little bit more relaxed now, but it's just gone crazy. So I can't sort of, turn my attentions when it's like that.
Yeah, but like when you was abroad, you was partying hard.
I wasn't. I was working there as well.
You're working there as well. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it's like you work hard, get some money behind you, put it on pause, and then you went abroad, see your son, and just enjoyed the place. But I forget you can work on the internet, man.
Yeah. No, my year wasn't so good up until the summer. Because of the constraints of somebody else's choices, governmental. But yeah, it's kind of worked out now. So the hard work has been worth it. But I'm still doing the hard work.
To me, with your ex, just fucking spoil her with flowers and shit. You know what women are like.
You know what?
Give them flowers, give them compliments, and they're in your good books.
Shady, I was with her for 12 years. I never bought her flowers. I'm not going to start now.
Well, so you're used to it then.
She got a new fella to buy her flowers.
Oh, that's fair play. You can moan at him.
My responsibility is done.
And
you, how are you?
I've been all right. I've just been chilling out, just keeping off the internet. But the drama's always there. Even though I'm not doing live streams, I'm still getting attacked by a certain channel. So,
only because you're aware of it. If you didn't go there, you wouldn't know it, Shady. It's probably people right now calling both of us wankers, but if we don't hear it, it never happened.
Yeah. And then, Jace, Brummy Jace, all right, mate, how you doing? And then when Coco comes on, all right, Coco, how are you doing? He's doing live streams now on Sunday at 8 p.m.
What Coco is?
No, Brummy Jace.
Okay, start it again.
Do you remember a Jace at West Bromwich or something like that?
I do. Anyway, well, if you remember, you were there, Shady. We had a little bit of a disagreement.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought he had given up.
He's back. No, he's back. It's back on Sundays, mate.
Okay, good for him. That's good.
So make sure you watch 8 o'clock Sunday.
Well, let me write it down in my diary now so I can be out.
It was good last. You you won't believe the guests that we had on that.
Simon Cowell?
No, I'm not going to say who.
Elton John.
Yeah. No, we had UK Medic on, which was nice. We had me on, which was obviously amazing.
Some celebrities in there then.
And we had a certain person from across the pond. That person was on. And then we had, oh God, I can't remember his name.
Was it Joe Biden?
Big beard. No, the one with the big beard. Oh, fuck me, I can't remember. You know me, I'm pissed now. But yeah, and it was a good chat. Nice, chilled out. Maximum was 9 people in the chat. So there was no drama. It was the good old days when I started doing live streams.
Very good. Did it inspire you to step up your game?
Well, yeah. I've still got the attacks on 2 channels, but
oh, shut up, Shady. You haven't.
I'm just going to ignore
They're
it.
only attacks if you see them as attacks.
Well, the last attack was go to this channel, meaning me, and flag him, and this and that and the other. And there's a lot of hate speech. If you look at that person's chat last night, he also picked on Mr. Fizz. You know, Mr. Fizz did a video going, man, baby. He also named him and going, go to that link. We have to take that video down. Flag that video. That's the so you know what I'm talking about. So he's actually breaking YouTube rules, because what he's doing is directing people with hatred to a channel. An IQ of 150.
I'd say it was more than that. I'd say it was
Have
far higher than that. He's being humble.
Yeah. Have you noticed he doesn't mention his IQ anymore? Because Gamer took the piss out of him and a few others out about his IQ. He never mentions it anymore.
Bless him. Well,
he probably had the IQ. But with the injuries and the alcohol, you lose your intelligence. And trust me, I've lost a lot of my intelligence.
There's only one way, Shady, that you would know that he's discussing you, and that is if you sit there endlessly watching his live.
Yeah, true. I'm a ghost. I don't watch fucking 4 hours. I flick through it until my name comes up.
And God bless him, he will sit there for a good 2.5 hours with no guests, just looking at the screen and just reacting to the comments in 1 or 2 or 3 words, and there's no real subject matter. There's no real dialogue going on. I don't know why you're going there, Shady, because
I'm bored.
If you don't see it, it doesn't exist.
There's but pre-warned is pre-armed. That's how I see it.
Sorry, chaps. 1 order of tea and toast fulfilled for my missus.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely jubbly.
All right, Bear?
Morning, mate.
There?
Morning.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was in the kitchen.
So I was listening to these 2, a pair of women talking away.
He means you, Shady. He means you twice.
Yeah, everybody see me wearing a dress a few times.
How you doing, Bear?
I don't mind being a transvestite. Gives some style.
Yeah, it's acceptable now anyway, Shady.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, I'm all right. A little bit of a cough and cold. Having a day off at home. But yeah, Bagman pointed out earlier, seems to be always fucking sick. He's kind of half right. It's my age.
There's an ultra.
That and the hepatitis and the AIDS, of course.
Was it wrong of me to sort of partly enjoy your meltdown yesterday, Bear, about your phone? I was chuckling to myself.
People would be. I was fucking devastated.
I would have been fuming, absolutely fuming.
Weekends are literally feel like there was no point. There was literally no point in the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So
you came to Leicester as well.
Yeah, I went to Leicester.
It would have been the finest footage as well. You've not lost it, have you?
Hopefully not. I've just put it into the shop. It's going to call me when it's done.
And could he guarantee that the information would be stored on the phone?
Yeah, he says that they won't wipe nothing. I was like,
Okay.
cool. That's cool.
All they have to do is replace the screen. They're not going to reset it, just put a new screen on.
Only because I'm with EE, right? And I see something on Google. Well, I wouldn't have usually gone or thought of going to them. I didn't go to them, but I was thinking about it, right? And they can do it like within 2 hours. They've got like this 2-hour service. But they're saying that they'll delete everything off of there. And I said, so you telling me that it can't be done without deleting all the data on there? And they're like, no. So I said, so anywhere I go to get a new screen, they're going to erase everything off the phone. And he was like, yeah. So obviously then when I spoke to this guy, he's like, mate, they're talking shit. He's like, I can do it without taking anything off your phone.
Yeah, but you know what they're going to do? They're not going to repair your phone. They're going to give you a reconditioned phone and say, we've reset it. That's what they're going to do in 2 hours. They're just going to give you a reconditioned phone. And that's why there'll be no data on it.
It's just a new screen going in. And a new frame as well. The frame is going to be new as well, but everything else will be the same. The back, all the...
I can imagine how you felt. That I cracked the back on my phone, only on one corner. I've had my phone over 4 years, and I was devastated.
No, I haven't even put my third bill yet. So that's how new of a phone it is.
The thing that surprises me is if you break an Apple phone or an iPad, you can buy a replacement screen for an iPad 3, I think it was at the time, because my son just kept breaking it. I was getting the screens from China for £11 and fitting them myself, and they were perfectly just like the original screen. Whereas Samsung is so expensive, I don't get that. Should be the other way around. Apple being, this big sort of massive global conglomerate fucking corporation bullshit.
Yeah, I got my daughter to fix my iPod Touch. I don't know which one it is. It's an old thing, but I'd had it fixed, and the bloke had done a shit job, and the screen broke straight away. So I bought, like you said, I bought one online for about £8.
Yeah,
and a £3 kit, which included little suckers to place the new glue, a little blade, and my daughter did it for me. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't trust myself for anything like that. I mean, I did look, and it was to get the screen and then do it yourself. But you're all right, mate. I'll only end up making it worse.
Yeah,
well, they're always
my daughter's
glued.
done a couple of her own, so
they're always glued, aren't they? So you just use a heat gun around the edge for a few minutes, and the screen will lift off. Well, on an Apple, it does. And I was able to do it in about 10-15 minutes in the end. I must have changed one 4 times, And I did my own phone at the time. I had an Apple then. Don't know why. But Samsung, I think, to replace the screen on mine is about £150, and it's only like an S10, I think, S9 or S10.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy. So, how much does it cost you to get it done?
120.
That's better than what you were charged earlier. 150 plus 30 quid, 180 quid.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, but it's a tool of the trade as well as a phone, isn't it?
You know what he's got on there, Shady, don't you? You know why he's panicking. When you've got a young, beautiful couple, and then Saturday night, couple of drinks, phone comes out. You know how this works, Shady. I don't have to tell you.
I do know how it works.
Morning, Rick.
I mean, I remember a romantic situation. I was on a live stream, and this girl just went in the corner and pissed in a bag. That was very romantic.
I still don't believe it was of the liquid variety.
I think it was a hologram projected by Shady or something. Some sort of special program on the computer. Swan! Was that a swan?
Yeah. All the big fuckers. I was going to say little fuckers, but they're not very little.
Are we allowed to eat them now? The Queen's gone.
No.
I don't know. How does that work?
What's that?
I said, like, does the king own them now, or how does that work?
He must do.
Royal. Yeah, he owns them now.
They'd
He's
have
inherited
exchanged
everything.
ownership. Yeah. And paid no
Yeah,
inheritance tax.
I reckon Swan would be nice. So I think it might be a little bit tough.
I don't know. I like goose. I had goose last Christmas, so I don't
Swan
know.
is not very nice. Tastes a little bit like golden eagle, which I don't like either.
Yeah, I'd compare it to dodo myself.
As long as it don't taste like crocodile, you're all right.
Yeah. It's comparable to tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger bone soup.
God, I'd have that, to be honest with you. Tiger bone soup.
So I spotted yesterday, Bear, you did a live where you said, kind of disaster. Are you back on track now? Are you a bit happier?
I will be when my phone's back in my hand, and I'm get all that fucking content off my phone and up on the channel. Lesson to be learned.
Are you able to divulge how your Leicester experience was?
I didn't really get much in Leicester, to be honest. It was pretty shit. I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
I did go to King Power Stadium, man, and that was just a piss take. As if you can be outside a Premier League stadium on match day with a camera and be told that that's odd behaviour.
Oh.
I done a live audit. Well, it wasn't even a live audit. I got there and thought, do you know what? I'm not going to get a video out of this, so I'll just go live for a little while. And it's gone a little bit downhill, man.
Well, there would have been maybe 10,000 people doing video calls or taking selfies with the stadium. I mean, it's hardly that odd a behaviour.
Yeah. Mate, it was disgraceful.
I told you Leicester was a bit of a damp squib. It's not.
We chatted about the other day. People go there just to video the players turning up and stuff.
I know, yeah.
It's an everyday occurrence. People turning up at the stadium, like you said, for selfies, and I expect they got a statue of Gary Lineker, have they?
Well, I'm subscribed to a channel, right? I've been a Newcastle fan, and there's this lad who basically goes down to like St James's Park every home game, reports from outside the stadium, talks to fans, fucking does all sorts, right? So there's loads of people that do that kind of thing. And that's kind of what I was trying to explain. Like, you're shining this football club in a very bad light. I mean, what I'm going to do, I haven't had a chance because I've just been busy and now sorting this phone out, but I'll do it later today. I'm gonna send a complaint over to them, man. And to be honest, their stewards were worse than actually, that police officer was a bit of a knobhead, weren't he? But.
Well, the stewards are only following orders. You can tell them to F off, can't you, without any of course. They have a statue, I'm aware. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've driven past the Leicester City ground for a good year. They've got a statue of the guy who died in the helicopter crash, the previous owner,
Yeah, I remember that.
It's actually quite a statue, man. That's really just like him. Some statues don't really look much like the person that they're meant to be. But
yeah, that statue of me on a horse in Derby looks nothing like me. That bronze statue.
Is it a Paddington statue?
That's Lady Godiva, that is, Shady.
No, it's supposedly.
That's Coventry.
It was me. It should have been me on that horse. I'm just saying.
Probably Florence Nightingale.
Oh, don't talk about Laura Lou, please. She winds me up.
Is it true you're back friends with Sandra, Shady?
I don't know, is it?
Well, what? You must have read my fucking mind, mate.
I'm sure I read that on a chat last night. I was on Zara's and Anne-Marie's last night, and I'm sure I read it in one of the chats.
That's like saying Voldemort.
I was very much going to make a similar comment, man.
I may
Come on,
have
Shady.
spoken to her.
Have you
I may
had a
have
happy
spoken to her.
ending?
I may have spoken to her on Jace's channel.
System made up, yeah.
I don't lose friends easy. Full stop.
Is that the American with the beard you were referring to earlier? Then
The beard. Never
yeah,
said that.
you said there was an American with a beard on. Was it Sandra?
No, that was I can't remember his name. Arkash. It was Arkash who was on. Arkash was the one with the beard.
Because I've been waking up at stupid o'clock. I've been watching Bearded Americans a bit, and not all of them male, but there's some wild channels I've been watching. It's like fucking X-rated fucking Dynasty or fucking something like that. It's crazy.
Well, I'm not allowed to say any names, so my other channel went fucking down on subs. This is my new channel where I'm trying to grow, which I'm growing. And there's a reason that I want to get to 1,000, not to be monetized, just to piss another hateful channel off.
You're very competitive, Shady.
It's Tone. You know Tony. He's stuck at.
He's still not made up.
I'm growing up. My channel, my new channel's growing. I'll be at 900 by the end of the year.
Yeah, but it's quantity over quality, Shady. You know, you only need to go to Tony P's to see a quality live stream.
Yeah.
Shady, we'll have to do a couple of joint challenges. One on your channel, one on mine. We'll have to think of something disgusting to eat.
Oh, I know the cat food.
Talking of eating, I see you've been shroom picking.
Yeah, I'm not eating them. No fucking way. What's that?
You're not going to eat none?
No.
It's just what you want to do is lock yourself in a room like where you are now. Fire up alive and munch some, mate. Let's watch you.
I did say the other day for a laugh. I said the other day for a laugh, you know, because people were saying in the chat, "Oh, just eat some," and I was like, "No, I don't eat them." And I did say for a laugh, I should put a PayPal up and just get people to donate to see me eat mushrooms on the live, but it ain't happening. The last couple of times I had them in the early 90s weren't good experiences. So
BBA will be up for it. Send him some mushrooms, like 100. Dry him out for him. BBA will be up for it.
Old habits die hard.
Yeah, but I got kids, so I can't be doing that shit.
No. You got to be in the right frame of mind for mushrooms.
I love some, man. If it's better than antidepressants, I don't mind taking 10 of them.
Listen, mushrooms, some psychedelics here could be life-changing, man. They can, literally, change you. For the good as well. For the good. It's not all bad, man. Some people have been known to actually suffer from things like severe depression and things like that, right? And then they've gone on a mad trip on shrooms or something of that effect, and they're almost like a fucking different person afterwards.
Yeah, my mate has been microdosing lately for anxiety, and he said it's done him wonders. He did a couple of months of microdosing, so no effects at all off the mushrooms. And it's done him wonders. It has, and I've had a couple of people comment on my lives, foraging videos from Instagram pages selling mushrooms, microdosing specialists. But not that I mean, it's just old habits die hard with me. It's the time of year, innit? I go down what I say down over the country, which is like sloping fields, and I know where all the puffballs are and the field mushrooms and the button mushrooms.
Yeah,
Shady knows where all the puffballs are in Derby.
I know where all the
The Blue Oyster Bar.
A friend of mine he's really intelligent, so it sort of contradicts his behaviour a little bit. And he was once a successful musician. He blames or contributes psychotropics. I don't know if they're similar to what you mentioned, Bear, as changing his life. Sort of opened his mind.
Yeah, there's retreats in the UK you can go to for experiences. I know Russell Brand is a big believer in it for his mental health. Going off to these retreats, and a lot of celebrities do it, but it's each to their own. And I know psychedelics aren't for me.
And he was telling me he does it sort of in the wilderness. He'll do them in the wilderness, and he's kind of crazy, but he'll tell me he's had conversation with trees and little people who live in the forests and all manner of things. It just sounds crazy, but he's all together. He's not sort of a dopehead or anything like that.
You need drugs to talk to trees and stuff. I do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
so when they reply, Shady, that's when you need to get worried.
Yeah.
To me.
We used to do that because of the sort of, the season was late here this year, but sort of middle to early to middle September, you can find them if it's been wet enough. And back in the 90s, we used to gather them and just disappear off into the little bit of forest that's around. You know what I mean? And we do the same, light a little fire and take our mushrooms, and we'd all sort of just do our own thing. People would wander off and come back an hour later covered in mud, where they'd been fallen over a wall or something.
And it's true, you have to.
What's that?
No, he just disappeared.
Sorry, I muted myself then. I said it's true you have to take like 40 or 50 to get to where you want to go.
We used to take like 50 would be just a normal sort of mildish giggly dose, if you know what I mean, of Liberty Cap. Yeah, but they can be tiny little things like that, or they could be a little bit bigger. But yeah, that's what we used to. First munch of the season would be 50 mushrooms, and it's not intense or anything. It's mild.
Have you done anything like that, Shady?
What you want to do? No, I've never had magic mushrooms. I've probably seen mushrooms, but because I don't know about how picking them, how to pick them, which is the right. I never. But yeah, where I used to live, Alton Castle, you go in the woods, you've got funguses, you've got mushrooms, you've got the fields, you've got.
Yeah.
And I just don't know which ones you can eat. I know those big ones in a cow field, you can eat them.
Yeah.
But we used to kick them.
Yeah, I've got a little mushroom book, but the area I live in, I know the ones that are edible and the ones that aren't. But there is a couple of varieties I've got to look up, which are they're weird, and I think they might be edible. So I'm going to have to take my little book out with me. I get a bit nerdy. Get a bit nerdy this time of year, wandering around the forest and the mountain. I do.
I've got me. I don't think I've got my SAS handbook, and it shows you what you can and eat, can and can't eat. But it's in black and white, so you can't see the colour of the plant because it's all in black and white on this SAS handbook that I've got.
Bear, I'm sure I just spotted Peter Pope on your live. Then, if you look back left,
yeah, he was hiding in the bush.
You posted a few photographs of houses recently, Bear.
Yeah.
Without going into detail, of course, are they two people?
Who lives in a house like this, Vincent? That's all it was, mate. Just asking the question. See if anyone
Who lives in a house like this.
Yeah. I'm thinking about starting up my very own version of Through the Keyhole.
I was on Through the Keyhole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell the story now because he's dead. He died, sadly, a couple of years ago.
In Michael Barrymore's swimming pool.
No. My girlfriend at the time, about 25 years ago, used to work for Willie Thorne's wife at the time, a lady called Jill. And she was their full-time nanny, and Willie and Jill at the time were going off all around the world because he was playing snooker, plus he was commentating. And I had intimate relations with my girlfriend on one of their sofas. And left a mark on the sofa.
You.
And then about 3 days after that, Lloyd Grossman was there with his production team filming Through the Keyhole. And when he was sat on this sofa, it was like a Georgian style hard sofa. When he was, you could see the little mark on screen. So I have been on, not You've Been Framed, I have been on Through the Keyhole. And obviously it was filmed at Willie Thorne's house.
Well, your jizz was on the TV show.
Jizz was on there, yes. You could clearly see the lightening of the sofa.
People are going to be YouTubing that now, looking for Willie Thorne Through the Keyhole.
Dude,
everyone got the old episode to find Vincent's jizz.
Find my jizz. It's like a two-seater Georgian sort of like a drawing room sofa. You know, like a hard sort of sofa, not a big plush one. But yes, very funny. And I didn't notice it, but we were watching, and she said,
"Whose house is this? Whose house is this? This smells like recent sex.
Whose jizz? Can it be? Whose jizz is this?"
Yeah, I've been on telly a couple of times myself, like once as an extra in the early 90s when they filmed some cop drama up at the mining museum up here. And I was also on Brain Teaser that used to be on Channel 5.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And I was
quiz program, I assume.
Quiz program, and I was pitted against a fucking English teacher, and it was a word game. So of course I got fucking slaughtered.
I've done a few music videos.
Nice.
I used to be a professional dancer, so I'm in quite a few music videos.
Ballet dancer.
No, I wasn't a professional dancer. I'm in a few concert videos because of what I used to do.
Doorman.
Your name's not down. You're not coming in.
Yeah. Where the fuck have you been, Shady? Oh yeah, you don't listen. Forgot.
He tests the pizzas and burgers that a lot of fast food does.
Absolutely right. Have you been on TV, Shady?
I was, but it wasn't me. It was a reconstruction of a murder investigation, and somebody played me in this video of, have you seen this guy? It's a murder case.
Who did they use? Brad Pitt?
I never saw it. It was similar to that. It was national news. Have you seen this person on Bolton Lane, Derby? He's the last person that saw this dead lady alive. And I went into work. That was played on Sunday. Went into work, and the boss, me and the manager went, you need to go down to the police station. They know you saw this woman. And we got interviewed for 4 hours. He had his keys, and then when he went back, he went, the bastards have searched my car, because it's very meticulous, and everything was in its place. They've searched my car. I had my keys on me. How did they get in my car? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they've got the technology. But yeah, and then I had about 2-3 weeks of the CID turning up, interrogating me again. And after 3 weeks, I actually thought I blacked out and murdered somebody. So I bugged the CID out. But then they found the guy that did it. No, actually,
That's what they were trying to convince you, Shady.
Yeah.
In fairness, you don't even remember your live streams. How would you remember murdering somebody?
Exactly, yeah. And you know what? I mean, God bless her. God bless her. But I did take an order for a bay window, which could have earned me 200 quid. But this wanker killed her, and I lost my commission. So if I see him, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Exactly. Somebody owes you £200.
It could have been more.
Have you been on Telly Bear?
Nah, mate. Not one, no.
Not intentionally.
That's what I mean, not intentionally, right? If I have been, but nah.
So here's a question for you.
Con like me on fucking TV programs, in that case. I'm only joking.
So when
I bet you're on Church of Scientology TV now, though. They made a video. If he turns up,
on every Scientology TV.
There's a photograph of Bear behind every reception now. So if they make the story of your life into a movie, all three of you, who do you want to play you? You from now or from sort of old?
Phil Mitchell.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say for me. Whatever his name is, plays Phil Mitchell. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, Phil Mitchell.
I'm going to do this before somebody else does. Mine will be Les Dennis playing me.
If it's from the past, I want John Travolta because I taught him how to dance, or I want Elvis Presley because I taught him how to sing. I'd want those two to play me.
Bruce Willis for you, Shady. Definitely Bruce Willis.
Yeah, he's all right.
Oh yeah.
Nah, do you know who I'd want to play me? To be honest, Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see the similarities.
Denzel. No.
Ministry would be Telly Savalas, of course.
Yeah.
Who loves you, baby?
Yeah. I haven't got any lollipops, Andy. I don't want to put a marker. I don't want to put a marker in my mouth. I'll be fucking.
I love you, baby.
Yeah, I've been on telly. I've been on YouTube's Got Talent.
I forgot about these.
Yes, you have, and won it.
And won it, yeah. Hey. Fucking prick.
Really scared.
That's what it is. Not so good videos, that was.
Yeah, that was so funny.
No,
you know, I had Gypsy Dave in my mind for Stavros Flatley because they're just like dead ringers. And you know, the first time I watched the video, Bear, I saw you in the younger kid. It tickled me, you know.
Yeah.
No, you got 51 in the audience because I'm here.
Yeah, you crowd puller, Shady.
Yeah, so someone said in the chat earlier, because I was mentioning American channels, that Gypsy Dave they went into a channel and Gypsy Dave was on the panel.
Okay. Yeah, he gets about a bit, doesn't he? And Shady, you can guarantee 40 of those are female. 40 of those 51.
Easy.
Yeah.
4
like
females.
Like a funny magnet you are.
I've looked at my stats. It's all males that watch me, with about 5 females. I've looked at my stats. Trust me, they females can find each other.
I'm sure it would give you
away.
A fucking round, like, actual number of how many.
BBA, I bet BBA, yours is like 50-50 women and men.
Still a large audience around auditing than there is female, to be fair.
You've got that bisexual vibe. That's what I think.
Shots fired. Shots fired across the bow.
That's a bit heavy for 11:30 in the morning, isn't it?
Here's another question for you. If you were getting, on average, 100, 150 people in on your lives, and then you look at the demographics and it all said gay males, would you give up?
No, gay males, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No, it does. It actually says sexuality of the people. So, yeah, you can actually work that out, the sexuality of people.
If you became a gay icon on YouTube, Shady, would you capitalise on that?
Yeah, what do you mean if I was? What do you mean if I was? What do you mean if I was? I am an icon.
Big up, Ludon.
I'm the drunken fool that everybody loves, and then also hates with even more.
That's something I don't do enough of, is look at my analytics at all.
You've been watching that. Ministry, you've been watching that in your House of Dragons?
Yeah, I got to catch up on. I've got a couple of episodes to catch up on.
Pretty good, man. I thought it'd be quite disappointing when I heard they were going to bring it out.
Is everyone liking it?
Yeah, I think it's actually quite good. It's not too bad.
I was surprised that they changed the young characters so early on in it.
Early on. It's just another thing, isn't it? I'm sure if you read the books, there's probably more to it. I've read like Song of Ice and Fire, man, and go read those books. And there's so much missed out in the.
Well, I'm going to be fucking brutally honest now. I'm a massive Game of Thrones fan, and I've got the books box set. And I started the first one and got about 20 pages in, and they've sat there for about 4 or 5 years now, and I haven't fucking touched them since.
Man, they're good books. Good books.
It's not that I don't read. It's just, I don't know. Something's got to grip me virtually straight away.
So is Son of Ice and Fire, are they the Game of Thrones books?
The Song of Ice and Fire, yeah.
Ah, because I hadn't made that connection. I'm aware of that sort of series of books. I never knew they were the Game of Thrones series.
Yeah.
I've never read fantasy and never even watched fantasy stuff, but fucking Game of Thrones, my lord.
It's a lot more, the books are a lot more detailed.
Don't get me wrong, it was a little bit rushed that last season of Game of Thrones, but there's a lot of fucking critics. A lot of people slate that last season. I think it was quite good. It was just, I don't know, maybe a little bit rushed. Maybe it could have done one more season.
I enjoyed it. I will be honest, I enjoyed it, but they were having creativity conflicts with George R.R. Martin, weren't they?
Yeah.
He didn't like how it went, did he?
No, he didn't like how it was going, and he was being slow on finishing the last book, wasn't he?
Deliberately,
I think, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. Have you watched House of Dragons, Vincent?
No, I'm saving it for a binge watch, Bear. I'm going to have a good few weeks off soon, maybe in about a month's time, and I'm going to do all of that and literally watch it episode after episode. I love doing it that way.
I thought it was quite good.
My mate's like that, When we used to download stuff, I used to watch it every week. And he went, no, I've just downloaded it. And then at the end of the series, he'd watch them all. It's like
one big movie, Shady.
Yeah, I like binging on series.
He's like you, Vincent. You know what I mean? He's successful in his own right. And that's how he does it. He went, I want to, I've got to watch it start to finish.
I'm not that successful, Shady. I have to fight for success, trust me, on a daily basis.
My mate, actually, with his job, he wanted to quit years and years ago because of the stress of being a manager. You know what I mean? And because he wouldn't let anybody, he wouldn't let the assistant manager take control, And then I went, hold on, remember when you used to complain when your manager put all the work on you when you was assistant manager? I went, yeah. He says, well, you do the same. And he started doing that. We had a lot of stress, but now he's a director of the company. But he's been there since he was like 19. Came out of the army, got a job on the floor, basic grunts. Took every education that the company offered. Like going home and then doing night school. He did all that, and then took all the advice his peers gave him, and now he's fucking a director of the company. And it's juicing.
Hard work pays off, Shady.
Yeah, but he likes routine as well. So watching TV shows. I mean, I used to see him, and he used to be on his work computer when he got home. So he just like, you know, you go out on a Saturday. Now it's because he lives away from Derby. Sunday he sees his kids, goes to the Dolphin. Everything's repetitive. It's the same. He likes routines, which is one thing I haven't got is a routine.
I'll be honest, I'm a stickler for routine. You know, walking my dogs virtually at the same time, twice a day, every day. You know, me and my missus usually go out same time every day. I suppose because of the job I was in, that's why my body clock's all shot to bits. I'm used to waking up 6 o'clock in the morning every day. And I still do. I've been waking up earlier, but I still do. I'm still in that same mindset.
My dad used to be like
essential.
that. My dad used to be like that. When he had a pub, bear in mind, you just wake up an hour before the pub opens, sort stuff out, and open up at 11 o'clock. You wake up, you chill out until 11. But his old work at the power stations, he used to have to be up at 5:30, 6, do his work, come back at 6 o'clock at night. And that was his routine for over 20 years. So when he had the pub, he'd be awake at 6:30. He'd then get his newspaper, have his cup of tea, do the stuff in the pub. But there's no need. My mum had the right idea. She used to wake up at 10 o'clock because she got pissed the night before. You know, and I'm the same. You know, what's the point in waking up? Because it's a long day. My dad used to be out cold by 12 o'clock at night, and me and my mum would run the lock-ins till 3 o'clock in the morning because we was night birds. But he had a routine where me and my mum never had a routine.
Yeah.
Every day is different.
Can I ask you a question? Here's a question, not a dig. Or you might take it the wrong way. Do you think that could have been one of the reasons for you becoming a heavy drinker? Because you were brought up and raised around pubs?
No, it's like a kid in a candy shop. When you're brought up in a candy shop, you don't want candy. And I was never an alcoholic. In all the pub trade, I was never an alcoholic. I could have a drink, but I was younger. But it was when I had my spine injury and I was taking the pain. It was making me sick.
Because I know two people that have also been brought up in pubs. One's around about my age, and the other one's slightly younger. Both of them are alcoholics, man. So I just wondered if that could have been
mine was my spine injury, and alcoholism. I was out the trade for well over 10 years, and it was the painkillers didn't work, the gel didn't work, nothing worked. But alcohol is a natural muscle release and nerve release. It's a relaxant, and it helped with the pain. And then when it was still severe, I'd get that drunk and I'd just fall asleep. And that was the only time I'd fall asleep because of the pain. I've never had an 8-hour sleep. If I'm in bed for 12 hours, I'm waking up every 2 hours. So I'll wake up tired and yawning, even if I've been in the bed for 10, 12 hours. You know what I mean? I'm constant. I'm in pain now. But because I'm sitting in a half decent chair, it's supporting my spine. It's not as good as my other chair that I wore out. I was in no pain with that one, but it was that damaged with fucking my t-shirts, sweat and everything. But it was a proper office chair with lumbar support. This, I'm having to get used to it, but it's a cheap chair that was given to me. So if I ever get that money, I need to get a new computer chair where it's comfortable. But yeah,
what money, Shady?
Alcohol just snuck up over. It snuck up over years and years. There was a time when my landlord's daughter, who's 28 now, she's a doctor, when she was 12, he used to pick up from Birmingham. So I was driving a car, and I could just go, boom, no alcohol. Because I'll never drink. I'll never drink and drive. and I could do it. I could do it now. It'd be like, yeah, I'd need 2 weeks to drive a car, and it would be so hard to actually not have the alcohol to drive a car because I'm reliant on it now. But it's snuck up over me over 10 years. That's why I'm an alcoholic now.
So if Andrew gives up, are you next, Shady?
Once I'm confident that I've given up tobacco, my next step will be to cut down on the alcohol. But the tobacco side of it, I'm doing fucking awesome, in my opinion.
Shady.
Don't mind me asking, have you been alcohol dependent?
I am alcohol dependent. If I stop, my body will shut down. Like Andrew says, you know, when he cuts down so much, he feels sick for 2 days.
No, I'm saying, how many years has that been the case in your life?
Probably 8 years, 8, 9, 10 years.
Okay.
I do get me odd
days. The whole life then.
Well, the thing is, it's like, you know, when you're on a live stream, you automatically want to drink. Like Andrew, he just drinks when he's on a live stream. Less live streams, there's less stress, and he'll drink less. With me smoking, I used to be like that. Roll ups, oh fucking, put it in the ashtray. Oh shit, I need another one. Now
I'm resisting picking up the papers now. Like, I've got my hands fucking stop me rolling a fag.
But this, once you learn how to use it, yeah, the bigger hole means you take it direct to the lungs. There's a small hole, it's matter lungs. If you do it wrong on both, you'll get the coughing fits. But once I hooked onto this, I left my tobacco downstairs, which is still there from 6-7 weeks ago, and I've kept it there as a reminder. Every time I go in the kitchen, it's there. I never touch it, and when I do touch it, I'm going to open it up. It's going to be moldy.
Is your breathing improved, Shady?
I'm less breathless. I get energetic times, which I never had. Well, I've got like more oxygen and I'm like racing around sometimes. So yeah, there's a massive improvement. I know it's going to take 3 to 6 to 9 months of a year for it to get the full benefits. But yeah, and then all I have to do then is knock out the nicotine at this mixture. Just use the juice and not the nicotine, and then see how it goes from there. But it's like a transformation. I used to go to the off license, which everybody knows. I can be there and back in 12 minutes. I used to have a roll up on the way there and a roll up on the way back. Now I don't bother. That's my next crutch. I leave that at home because it's charging, and I go there and back, and I don't even want anything. And I didn't even really try. I just separated tobacco. I think that Ben, the Ben with the parrots and everything, he said months ago, he says, what you do, you go out with just your vape and don't take tobacco with you, which I did start doing. I always had the tobacco. Do you know what I mean? And I did that, and I'm reliant on this now. So hopefully, I'll never see a cigarette. And smell, and taste, that's coming back. It's weird. Things I liked, I don't like anymore.
It's one step at a time, isn't it, Shady?
Yeah, extra cheddar cheese, the extra strong stuff. I couldn't taste it when I smoked. Then I bought some, and then I went off it, and then I tried that cheese, and it's fucking too strong. It was like I couldn't even finish the sandwich. So now I'm getting some sort of taste buds back.
I'm just gonna make myself a coffee, guys.
Smoking smack can help.
Yeah, John.
Hi, Midlands, by the way.
Yeah, big up the 60 in the chat. I think that's probably my best numbers ever.
Going up, mate. Going up. I've noticed that getting more and more in your streams recently.
Yeah, slowly. I don't, like I said to Shady earlier, I don't over push myself or overextend myself or want to come across as some sort of fucking beg or something. I'd rather do it
Naturally, and actually,
nice and natural, like, and you know, the people who are here want to be here. You know.
I'm still working hard to be the old shady. When I started this channel, you look at the old videos, people like me, and I had a sense of humor and everything. But since December, everything went downhill in my life. Then I became the bit twisted, nasty person, which I don't want to be like, to be honest with you. It is fun though. Like in the movies, all those actors in the movies that played the bad guy, they always said their role was amazing because there's a bad guy. And it's probably the same with YouTube. I like defending myself. I like being a bad guy.
Bear's disappeared. I'm gonna have to mute myself and just shout at my missus a minute. I heard her machine, so.
Charwalla, I bet she said, Charwalla, Charwalla, where's my char? That's Indian or Punjabi for tea, mate. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm gonna have to cut this in a minute with my best numbers in ever.
Yeah, it's going to get better, mate, as well.
I'll go you, Bear.
It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better, mate.
Yeah, it's me, Brett. My battery's going to die, mate, so I'm going to jump off. But if you're on in about 10-15 minutes still, I'll jump back on, mate. I'll be home by then.
I'm just finishing. My missus is just finishing her machine, so I'm on the desktop in the living room, well, in the dining room, so she's going to be coming in and having a chat on the stuff. And I've done nearly 3 hours, so I'm not going to swap devices or anything.
Yeah. All right, then, mate. Sound.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things.
Oh, buddy, well, I'll let you crack on then, and everyone enjoy your day.
Yeah, cheers for coming on, there. Nice one.
Peace, man. Take care, guys. Speak to you later.
Good luck with your phone, baby. You'll get all the data back.
Yeah.
You definitely get the data back. It's the screen that was the problem. I think, you know, when he went to EE, and they went, yeah, we're going to wipe everything. No, all they're going to do, a 2-hour service, you can't get a screen ready and put it in. But all they're going to do is give him a reconditioned phone saying, it's all wiped. Here you go. Here's your phone.
Yeah.
And his original phone will be in the back. And then they'll fix that up, wipe it, and that'll be another reconditioned phone. So going elsewhere is a better deal.
Yeah.
Please take heed with this warning from the legendary Mac. He's a savage animal who should not be underestimated.
I will rip your fucking throat out, you stupid inbreeded little fucking bastard. Nazi, do you get me? Do you get me? Nazi.
Sorry, I had to do that. Pick up the legendary Mac.
You got a talent. You got a talent like Mrs. J. You got to use it.
Yeah, I like I said, I've got about 5 minutes before my missus is off her machine. So
it's like, you know, your work with a yellow card and the red card.
Yeah.
When I do a live stream, the audience actually say, do the yellow card, do the yellow card. No, do the red card. They love it.
Well, someone's just about to get a yellow in the chat, so.
Oh dear, it seems as if you have earned 5 minutes on the naughty step wearing a fucking dunce's cap. Yellow card for fuck's sake. Big up all the keyboard warriors hiding in mummy's vagina.
That is so cool.
Right, all I didn't yellow card them. I just removed their comment. So there we are. All the Invariant Britain's.
I mean, I use them. I use it. I've had a lot of less stress by using those cards. One, it could be a bit of humor that changes the subjects.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's my stress levels down doing live streams, but I've stayed away. It's to do going on other people's. I have to then respect like you, so I can't be me on my channel. I have to respect you, which hopefully is repetition. Then when I do my live streams again, I'll be like this, if you know what I mean. I'm the nicer person.
Yeah.
Yeah, the American lady, yeah. I did speak to her on a live stream, Vincent. The rumor is correct. If it works out, then it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's life. We move on. Simple as that. But I don't hate the person. Never hated the person.
Cheers, Genghis.
I'm frustrated, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I'd never wish any harm. Where other people have said, "Oh, did you hear what Shady said? He wished the worst for you," and this never fucking once, and I never said it. But that's fucking the toxic YouTube.
Yeah.
I've been battling for over 6 months.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All goes well. We'll just talk on Facebook like we did before YouTube. That'll be something to look forward to in about 6 months' time.
Well, YouTube's so much more public, isn't it? So
yeah, we was different people on Facebook, and then YouTube, it's like then you got other people butting in, stirring shit, and that's created a lot of the fucking drama and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a working project. But when I've got a friend that's over 4 years, I don't dispose of them, you know. And I've never slagged her off. I've said what's our history, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And why I'm disappointed, but I've never said anything that's bad towards her. But I was disappointed quite a lot that I was finding out about her health secondhand from channels that hate me. And I was finding out off those channels how the person was doing.
Yeah.
Which that upset me a hell of a lot. Fucking it fucked my brain up. But anyway, it's the past now anyway. Got to move forward. Snowy's put a link up.
Yeah. Yeah, I clicked on it earlier, Snowy. I'm going to watch it now when I finish. I'm going to be finishing now in a minute, so I'll watch it straight. I'm going to watch it straight away because it looks really interesting. So,
oh yeah, I've got it. I'll do the same, but then again, I have got the I've got a TV show to watch as well. Catching up. That's why I'm off YouTube a lot now. Just catching up on. It's no VPN. I don't think Virgin Media knows about it. Streaming.
yeah.
So, but you get all the TV shows, the movies, everything.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. Walking Dead, miss that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been enjoying. Yeah, coming off YouTube early in the evening and watching a bit of telly because I don't really watch a lot. So, you know, there's been a few things on.
I've got a 32-inch television that I use as a monitor.
Yeah.
So it is like watching a TV. Anyway, you going then now? So.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get off now. My messages will be coming through. Morning, Emma. Still morning. Still just about morning.
See everybody in the chat. I'm gonna do a rare thing and go first or second. Take care, everybody. Love you. Take care, Mr. Vincent. Yeah, whatever.
I'm back. I've just made myself a coffee. Cheers, Ministry, for having me on, man. Always good to see you.
That's no worries.
Good to see you.
Take care, everyone.
I'm going to go to before Shade. Oh, no, fucking
He's
mother
gone.
bastard. Motherfucking bastard. Typical Derby. Typical fucking Derby behaviour. That
he knew what he was doing then.
Cheers, Ministry. Have a lovely day and all in chat.
And you, Vincent.
See you later.
Nice one. Yeah, see you later. Big up, Sparky. Big up all the Inbo Britons. Cheers, Snowy. Cheers, Emma. Too slow, Vinny. That's right, that is. Saved by the bell. Yeah, I'm not gonna dawdle and fuck around. I'm gonna play a video or two maybe, and by the time they're finished, I'll be gone. Cheers everybody for commenting, chatting, being respectful. I've only had to remove 2 comments, and I only removed them so I could play a video. Really, there's been nothing nasty in the chat today. Everyone's good. Everyone's full of bants. You know what I mean?
Please take heed with this warning from the legendary bat. He's a savage animal who should not be underestimated.
I will.
Excuse me, fucker, but who do you think you are to come here acting like a complete dog shit? Mentally incapable, monkey fingering, white dog shit eating, nana banging, fucking bin dipping junkie cunt who likes to project your own insecurity and flaws onto others. Now fuck off and look for used needles in a city centre public toilet. Bastard cunty fuckwit wanker spaz.
Oh dear, it seems that we have a complete fucking reject backstage trying to disrupt the stream. What do we do with the cock gobbling, cat kicking, mummy dependent virgin whose only enjoyment in life is masturbating to old Littlewood's catalogues? Ha, 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 ha.